Hello everybody. Hope the audio is okay on my end. How y'all doing today? I hope you're doing well. I I know I haven't streamed in ages, so hopefully this is actually the beginning of me getting back on track. I know I said that last time. And then last time I was like, oh, to be consistent, and then it's been a week. Has it been a week? It's been more than a week. It's been like... It's been a week and 3 days since then, but I had to take a week off. Because my cold didn't get better like I thought it would. You remember last time I still had it a little bit, and I thought I was at the end of it, but it just got worse the very next day. No, it got worse 3 days after that. And so it's been a week since it was at its worst. But yeah, it got better throughout that week, and I was like, I almost streamed on like Thursday, and then Friday. But I decided it would be better to make sure, actually take the full week off, come back, in the new week, and then be consistent that week. Instead of keeping it disjointed or accidentally going too early and just making myself sick again. Also, thank you to Foregathers for following me, despite me just being on a stream. Will be starting soon. Alright, let's stop that. Put that back. There we go. Is that what volume I usually have it at? Probably. Let's... Alright, sorry about that, I just had to check something. So, I still haven't read the 2 goddamn sex scenes that have happened already in this route, but whatever, that's my fault. I meant to do it yesterday, but hopefully I don't know. It doesn't seem like it seems like they have a little bit of context, but I've mostly picked up on what it's been since it's been a while since that second one anyway. Alright. Oh shit, hang on. Fuck me, why is everything... why do I keep needing to change stuff? Alright. I don't think I like riding on buses. Yeah, me too, buses suck. Actually, I think I'm pretty comfortable saying that as a fact. They sway a lot, and they smell funny, and you can feel every bump in the road. Yeah, buses are the fucking worst. I'm actually a big fan of trains, but buses suck. I'm really not looking forward to this. Plus, Emmy's legs keep making a clanking noise that draws the attention of everyone else on the bus. She's in shorts again, and she's got long socks drawn up on her prosthetics so they don't look so obviously false again. That doesn't stop the odd look or two every time my legs bump together with an audible clunk. I shift nervously in my seat, and Emmy raises an eyebrow questioningly. She doesn't seem to mind the stares, either that or she doesn't even notice that people are staring. I'm sure she's gotten her fill of odd looks before. After a certain amount of time, I doubt she'd notice anymore. Not that she'd ever tell me if I asked. Another fact is, I'm not just uncomfortable about the bus. I can't seem to come to terms with the fact that Emmy appears to be trying to bring me closer, while at the same time pushing me away. No, you're just an idiot, Hisao. I hate the way he's written in this route. He's so dumb. Nurse said she trusts me, even if it doesn't look like it, but I'm not sure I can trust the nurse. He's protective of Emmy, just like I'm protective of Emmy, and I'd be likely to say something to make her look good if someone asked me about her. No, you're just... Oh my god, he's so dumb. He's so dumb. You don't get it, Hisao. Ugh. So he might just be doing that. Still, there was something about the way he seemed genuinely surprised that Emmy invited me along. Maybe last night's talk helped more than I think, but I'm still worried. Meeting the parents is a big deal, right? Oh, right. I've totally forgot about that. They go on a fucking meet. Parents? You mean parent? So, not that I haven't met Emmy's mother, but that was just as an acquaintance. Now it's going to be as Emmy's boyfriend, with everything that implies. I can feel my heart pounding in my chest, an echo of that snow-covered afternoon that feels like it was so long ago that it might as well be another life entirely. Except then, I didn't think this. What? Oh, I didn't know what was going on. I also didn't have medication to help prevent things spiraling out of control. I've come a long way in terms of my physical health, and for the second time today, I feel like I'll be able to live normally now, or at least as normally as possible. Now, if only I could manage my relationship as well as I've managed my heart, I'd be in great shape. Yeah, he actually has managed it really well in this route. You're meant to do the running, but like every other route, he just doesn't do that. Does he collapse in every other route? I don't think he. I don't remember him collapsing in Rin. He definitely collapses in the Lily route. I think he collapsed in the Shizune route. I can't remember the Hanako route very much. It was so long ago. I mean, Rin was even longer ago, but I remember the Rin route really well because it was my first one. Oh. Well, we're here. Emmy grabs my hand as soon as we've stepped off the... Blah, 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 blah. I can speak. Emmy grabs my hand as soon as we've stepped off the bus. She starts heading down the street almost immediately. Come on, we've got a couple blocks until my place. What? Oh, okay. Follow Emmy down the street, watching her confident stride. Is this a new background? I think it is. She's setting kind of a quick pace for just a walk. I guess she's anxious to get there. So does your mom do this sort of thing often? Nah, not too frequently. Mom's never been much for playing hostess. Oh yeah? Yeah, my dad was always the one pushing her to have people over. The sudden and unprompted reference to her father catches me off guard. From the look on Emmy's faces, I'm not sure she meant to mention him. I think I've only ever heard her talk about him once. All I remember is that Emmy's mom told me that he wasn't around anymore. Oh, your mom prefers solitude? Emmy laughs, either from relief that I didn't ask about her father, or from finding my statement actually funny. Not at all. She's why I'm such an outgoing person, you know. She just prefers to be a guest rather than a hostess. It's less stressful that way, also she says. Yeah, it really is less fucking stressful. I hate hosting people, mainly because I'm just terrified they'll have a negative experience. Like, I'm just constantly terrified, like, oh shit. What if they don't, what if they're not having a good time? And then sometimes my friends will, like, just be, you know, making fun or teasing me in a small way. And then, but it's like, by making a joke that they're not having a good time or that I'm fucking something up. And of course it's just, you know, banter between friends. But then I'm always like, oh fuck, what if they're being serious? Clearly she's never had to meet her girlfriend's mother for dinner. What? Oh, I see. He's saying, yeah, he's saying he's really stressed. I get it. Emmy giggles again and speaks in a teasing tone. Nervous, Sarah? Whoa. What did I just click? Okay, we're still streaming. I just clicked something on OBS, and it terrified me. You shouldn't be, you know. It's not that big a deal. Just dinner at my house, that's all. Yeah, but have you ever brought home a boyfriend before? I confess that part of me dreads hearing the answer to this. I know very little of Emmy's past relationships. I don't even know if there were past relationships. No, I guess I haven't. Hey, maybe this really is kind of a big deal after all. Oh, good, and now I feel twice as nervous. But to tell the truth, I'm pretty happy to hear that I'm the first one. Maybe we've got something special after all. Sorry, that was... I hate that I keep fucking up. What is wrong with, like... I don't know, something's wrong with, like, my mouse or something. It keeps, like... You can see it, right? You can see it in OBS. Can you? I can't remember if you actually can. Can you? Yeah, you can if I'm clicked on the window. So you see how it's like, yeah, it keeps like I'm purposefully doing it now, but it keeps like jolting down like that, like just off. Which is why before I accidentally clicked something on OBS, and then I accidentally opened some other window, and I keep I don't know why it's done this. Forgive me. Bolstered by this new thought, I've managed to calm down considerably by the time Emmy knocks on her front door. Hey Mom, open up. We're here. Door swings open and Miss Ibarazaki stands grinning at her daughter. The grin is still surprisingly similar to Emi's. I've never got... What? Oh, I'm never gonna get used to that. You know, people normally wait for a few minutes before they start shouting at the door. And most mothers say hello to their daughters instead of scolding them right away. I don't know if that's true. Of course, welcome home, dear. I've missed you. Is this... Isn't this the same background that was used in the... Surely not. It must just be... It's gotta be different, but I feel like this is the same background they used at the like holiday house that you go to in Lily's route. I feel like it's the same. But they've always had a different one for the different houses, so I feel like surely it wouldn't be. I don't know, that's weird. Maybe it's just really similar. An affectionate hug later, we're inside. And it is only then that Emi's mother seems to remember that I'm actually here. Hello to you too, Sao. How are you? Quite well, thank you. Nice to not have school to worry about for a little bit. Ah yes, you finished up your exams, haven't you? That must be quite a relief for you both. Certainly a weight off of my mind, that's for sure. Mine too. I think I slept well for the first time in weeks last night from relief alone. If this news is a surprise to Emi's mother, she doesn't show it. Still, her response betrays a note of interest. Is that so? Very glad to hear that, Emmy. You know, I get worried when you get all wound up about, well, exams. Oh, wow, this is yeah, sure, exams. But certainly Emi's mother knows something I don't. Or rather, she doesn't know that Emi's told me about the nightmares. It's interesting, being able to observe how Miss Ibarazaki covers for Emmy. The protective instinct to make sure that I don't know any more than Emi's willing to tell me. I suppose Emi's got more in common with, what? Quarks than I ever realized. Like... What do you mean, like, what? Is that quarks? Like, the particle? Interesting choice. Moves around fast, impossible to understand through direct observation, yet she has an effect on everyone she gets. Oh, right, because of the mumbo-jumbo before about don't observe the thing directly, observe the things around it. I mean, I guess I'd call that a stretch, though. This is kind of a stretch. To compare it to a quirk because of that. That was a bit dumb. I wonder if Miss Ibarazaki will figure out that I know about the nightmares, or if she's just keeping everything secret from everybody. It's not been as bad this year as in the past, so helped me to stay focused. Okay, I know that's not true. She even cut off contact outside of school hours during exam week. But she did see me during the day, and she told me more than once that the morning run was the only thing she looked forward to during exams. So maybe it's not that much of a lie. You are so dumb, Hasao. Either way, to hear that being around has helped even a little makes me feel a bit better. Emi's mother raised an eyebrow at that statement. Either she doesn't believe Emmy, or she's as surprised as I am. Well, and it appears that it's a good thing you two have become so close. I tell you to take good care of my daughter, Hasao, but it looks like you're already doing that. Emmy grins at this and seems to take pride at me having managed to integrate myself with her mother so easily. Ingratiate, sorry. Integrate, what the fuck. Actually, I'd say your daughter's been the one taking care of me. She's got me out and running. Probably been more active since meeting her than I ever was, even before. I actually never thought of it that much. Not ever appreciated the humor in it. I wasn't too active before the heart attack. Pick-up games of soccer don't really count since they weren't that common. So now that I know for sure that I have a weak heart, now I run every day pushing my luck with the help of my medication. I chuckled quietly, then realized that I never finished my sentence. Well, before I had my heart attack and wound up at school here. Comes out so casually, there was a time that I would have thought twice about talking about what was wrong with me at all. But now it just seems silly to care, especially in the company of Emiya and her mother. Damn, okay, I like this part of Hasao though. I feel like almost every other route he remains consistently uncomfortable talking about his condition, even when it's been ages. I can't remember which route in particular it was, but there was one where he was really bad about it, and like even right towards the end, he was still being a little bitch about even bringing it up. Was it the Hanako route? I don't know. I think it was Hanako or Lily that he was like that. I like this one small part of Sao. I don't like the rest of how he's written in this route for the most part. If Emmy can be cavalier about her disability, then so can I. I think back to the track meet where Emmy declared herself the fastest thing on no legs. The fact of her obvious loss has never seemed to bother her, or at least not in public. Being stuck in the wheelchair frustrated her, I know, but even that was nothing. But even that was something she dealt with on her own, despite my efforts to the contrary. Emmy has a way of bringing out the more active side in people. I've never quite figured out how she does it. Those puppy dog eyes she gets for starters. I'm not surprised that she managed to rope you into an exercise routine. If everyone weren't just as stubborn as she is, I'm sure that Emmy would have gotten her out and running with you too. Oh, that reminds me. Rin says hello. Drift to the outer edges of the conversation again as we move into the dining room to eat. Okay, this is definitely new though. It smells delicious in here, and the spread that Emmy's mum has produced is impressive. Oh, you've made enough to feed an army in here. Is it too much? Well, you can always take some leftovers with you when you go. It sounds great. I can only handle cafeteria food for so long. Something home cooked would be a welcome change of pace. What he said. Thanks, Mum. The food tastes as good as it smells, and there's a lull in the conversation while we all dig in. Oh, everyone's gone all quiet. That's something that my nana always says. Whenever we all have a family gathering, like, and everyone starts eating, she'll always go, "Oh, everyone's going all quiet," and it's she doesn't say it as much anymore because she finally realized we make fun of her for it. But it was pretty funny because one time she was late to like a family dinner or whatever. I think it was my 18th birthday or something. And she was late, so we were talking about how she always says that, and then she showed up, and like, you know, after a while we came to the point where we were all eating, and then like as soon as we start eating, she said it like out loud, and my cousin fucking lost it. He just started laughing like on his plate, and he like hung his head down, and he couldn't control himself. And then eventually when he calmed down, he's like, it was right away. It was like a second after we started eating. It's just, oh, it was so funny how much he lost it. And then after that, she realized that we were making fun of her for it. But God, that was the funny, oh my God. The way he like, he lost it so much. It was, honestly, the fact that he was laughing was the more funny part of it, but oh my God. Because he was also trying so hard to not keep laughing. Oh God. Anyway. Emmy assaults her plate with the usual amount of gusto, and I will admit that I set a pretty fast pace myself. So Sao, I hear that you and my daughter here have gotten rather close, The urge to say something like, not really, is so strong that I open my mouth to say it, but then reset control. We are close. There's no getting around it. I mean, Emmy's brought me here, hasn't she? Fortunately, both Emmy and her mother seem to take my reaction as a sign that I'm caught off guard rather than considering saying something cruel. I suppose we have. I blame the morning runs myself. It can sound like a bad thing, Sarah. I, for one, find it a relief. Why's that? Emmy's always been a popular girl, but never made many close friends. This is a bit of news to me. I've always seen Emmy chatting with her classmates in the hallways. Certainly the whole track team seems to love her, but it's true that she chooses to isolate herself during lunch with Rin and me. Not exactly the sort of behavior one expects from a popular girl, after all. Then again, I've experienced her unwillingness to get close firsthand, so I can't say I'm not surprised. I was beginning to have my doubts. Emmy rolls her eyes to the ceiling and grumbles something I can't quite make out. Huh? What? What's that you just said? Nothing. Irizaki chokes on her drink with laughter. You've been hanging out with the nurse too long, Emmy. I'm gonna have to talk to him about corrupting my daughter. Somehow, I don't think that would be very effective. I learned most of it from you anyway, not the nurse. Don't listen to her, Sao. She's a born liar. Yeah, right. Oh, I didn't Oh, I don't know, Amy. I think your mother has a point. What, you traitor? You're supposed to take my side on this. Yeah, but... Whoa. Yeah, but you did lie about your leg after you met... Ow. Oh, after... Yeah, when she lied about it being an issue. A kick in the shin from an unmistakably plastic foot cuts me off, but not before Miss Ibaraki's eyebrow shoots upward. What about your leg? It wasn't a big deal, that's all. It was just, I wish for my... Last few mumbled words are quickly deciphered by Emmy's mother. I suspect she has experience with this sort of thing, and a worried frown appears on her face. So that's why you kept dodging my calls. Oh, Emmy, I know how much you hate being in a wheelchair. No wonder you've been in such a mood lately. Yeah, she's much happier on her feet, so to speak. Well, of course, she spent enough time in a chair just after the accident. She didn't get prosthetics immediately? No, she had to finish healing up before they let her start that sort of therapy. You've got to go through to adjust to those things. Yeah, you wouldn't... Obviously, is how. I've never even dealt with anyone that uses prosthetics, but I feel like it's pretty obvious that you can't just jump right in them. Especially since she wanted to run on them. Had no idea. Yeah, it sucks. Oh, did you see Rin's mural at the festival? I mean, sudden change of topic makes me realize belatedly that she's been fidgeting the whole time her mother and I have been talking. God damn it. I should have figured on her being a little skittish when it comes to talking about the accident, even around her mother. No, I didn't make it out to the festival, remember? Although I caught a glimpse of it at your track meet. It seems pretty weird to me. I think that's more or less what she's going for. She talked a lot about it being dreamlike, or trying to make it dreamlike. Inside is one of those things I don't think I'll ever understand. That's not surprising. I don't think Rin expects to be understood. She told me once that art allows people to understand stuff they wouldn't understand otherwise, but all the same, she doesn't think it actually works that way. I'm surprised that Emmy's talked about this with Rin extensively enough to actually have Rin's opinion, such as it is. Although I expect that Rin could not, if she was so inclined, say the same thing about Emmy's. Unless, of course, Emmy is purposely keeping me in the dark about everything, which is likely, but unpleasant to think about. I drift down this unpleasant train of thought for a while, losing track of the conversation. Hey, Emmy, I've been meaning to ask. Huh? Are you gonna visit your father this year? From the way she says it, you'd think Emmy's mother was talking about the weather. From the way Emmy reacts, it's clearly not the weather they're talking about. She flinches, a slight jerk of the head backwards, as if she's just been slapped in the face. Can we talk about this later? Her voice sounds brittle, strained. It looks as if she'd been severely shaken by the question. Seems that Miss Ibarazaki misjudged just how close Emmy and I are. Some things, it seems, are best not conversed about with me around. Her father is one of those things. The accident that took her legs is probably another one of those things. If a reaction to the earlier conversation between her mother and myself is any indication. And they're technically the same! And it's so obvious that they are. It doesn't take Emmy's mother long to realize she's screwed up. Of course we can, dear. I'm sorry to bring it up. I just wanted to ask so I could make plans. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Emmy fidgets nervously as if embarrassed by her own rejection. I confess that her reaction is confusing. She only just mentioned her father to me earlier today, less than a few hours ago even. What is a simple question about when she'll visit her father cause such a strong reaction? Unless whether serenity she claimed to have reached by means of our talk the previous evening has suddenly evaporated, or it didn't help as much as she thought or claimed. I'll be right back. Gotta visit the little girl's room. Emi gets up suddenly and leaves the table, leaving me and Miss Ibarazaki alone. I'm a little conflicted. Should I go after her, or should I stay here? It's obvious that Emmy's departure was not based on the call of nature. Something's bothering her, and I have to... what? Oh, and I had to know what it is. How to go about it. Oh, jeez. Dude, why is the past few choices all felt like really big deals? Kind of crazy. Just talk to her mum. I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't go after her. We'll see. See if this fucks me over. Whatever. There's an awkward silence at the table for a while after Emmy dashes off. I can't think of anything to say. Emmy's mother sighs, breaking the silence. Sorry about that, Sal. I sometimes forget that Emmy's touchy about certain subjects. And I was talking about the wheelchair thing too. Should I go after her? Heavens no, she didn't leave the table to continue the conversation, you know. But if she's troubled, shouldn't someone help her? If it were anyone else, I'd say yes, but my daughter is stubborn as a mule, and if she wants to be alone, it's best to let her be alone. Yeah, see, that's what I thought. Otherwise she'd probably say something she'd regret, which would cause you to say something you'd regret, and I would prefer that dinner doesn't end with one of the both of you storming out of the house. If that were to happen, I'd be a terrible hostess, wouldn't I? I've already acted as a fool once today. That's okay, I shouldn't have brought up the wheelchair, apparently. Miss Ibarazaki frowns, clearly more bothered by Emmy's admission than she'd let on. I wish she wouldn't do that. Just makes me worry more, you know? She does this often? What, running off to the bathroom? No, I can't say she does. Keep injuries from her mother, though? Well, that's a little more common. Every time I catch her lying like that, she assures me that the only reason she didn't tell me is because it wasn't a big deal. If it's any consolation, I'm sure the only reason I know about it at all was because I saw her every day. That elicits a dry chuckle from across the table. Miss Ibarazaki sighs, a little sadly. Still hesitant about getting close to people, huh? I keep hoping that she'll get over that. It's funny, really. She's bounced back so well from the accident in so many ways. I guess some things never really go away. From the looks of it, the whole thing still bothers her too. She seems to be a little more willing to talk about the accident without Emmy around, though. Hey, I've got a question, if it's alright. Oh? What else did Emmy lose in that accident? The nurse says that she gets this way near the anniversary, and she won't talk about it to me. So you thought I'd fill you in, This is a bad idea, Sal. Yeah, hopefully. Why would you ask someone else? I feel like that's a really bad idea. There's a problem with that request, you know. Let me guess. You promised Emmy that you wouldn't tell anyone she didn't want to know. You wouldn't tell anyone she didn't want to know, and you don't know if she wants me to know. Something like that. I promised Emmy that she'd be the one to tell people the full story. See? But isn't that important? I mean, it's clearly had a huge effect on her if she's still like this so long after the accident happened. So, she's not gonna tell you, and she shouldn't tell you anyway. This is a terrible thing to ask. That's true, it did have a long-lasting effect on her. There are very few things that she'll probably never really get over. For a moment, Miss Ibarazaki looks incredibly saddened, as if an old wound is bothering her. I suppose there are a few things I'll never really get over either. Another dry chuckle, and with a shake of her head, Emmy's mother banishes the memory. Look, there's something you must absolutely... Bleh. I kept reading the must first. Look, there's something you absolutely must understand about the way Emmy thinks about the accident. What's that? It wasn't a big deal. Somehow I managed to keep my mouth from falling open in surprise, but it takes some effort. It has to be the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Beg your pardon? Okay, maybe it's not that simple, but it's pretty accurate summation. Amy believes that the accident did not define her, and that everything she lost that day didn't define her either. She's not that girl who lost her legs, she's the fastest thing on no legs. Her optimism and energy came out of that wreck without a scratch, as far as she's concerned. Yet it goes beyond that, doesn't it? I mean, last night she told me that she refused to rely on me because it would make losing me too painful. Not really. You said she won't tell you about the accident, even though you've asked her about it before. The reason she won't talk about it when you ask, because to her, it's not something you absolutely need to know. Even if she wasn't terrified of getting too close to anyone, she still wouldn't talk about it. She's afraid of being close to me? Oh, goodness me, yes. For all that talk about being unscathed by the accident, she's gained the ugly knowledge of how quickly it can all be over. So she's not going to let people get especially close to her, and she certainly won't, And she would certainly resent any implication that she cannot work through this on her own. But I don't think she can. Oh no? Are you sure you've been dating my daughter, not somebody else? Trust me, Sao, she could get through it on her own. Yeah, you're forgetting that Hasao's a fucking idiot in this route. Dude, she's gonna walk back and hear me talking about this and get upset with me over it. I bet. But she has nightmares and can't sleep well, and she does this every year. Tell me if she wasn't able to get through it on her own. Do you really think she'd still be alive? She She would have killed herself, or something else melodramatic. So what, I shouldn't try to help her? I didn't say that. I hate seeing my daughter like this, and knowing that she could rely on someone else would let me relax. I just need to understand that accepting help goes against everything Emmy thinks about herself and the way the world works. If you still want to offer her help, then I guess that's your call. Honestly, I'd like you to, but it'd be silly not to warn you that it's not going to be easy. You just need to be patient with her. She's already closer to you than anyone else she's ever met at Yamaku. It sure doesn't feel like we're very close. Oh no! Good, that makes this part easier. Emmy's voice nearly gives me a heart attack. Whoa, didn't hear you come back, Emmy. How convenient. Wait, were you eavesdropping? Nope, just happened to come back at the right moment, I guess. Emmy, that was just... Emmy holds up a finger, cutting her mother off. On his way out of the house? Yeah, I know. Emmy's trembling with anger now, looking vaguely betrayed. Emmy, don't be ridiculous. We were just... You promised! The pain carried in that last word is almost too much for me to bear. The idea that I could hurt her that much is like being kicked in the gut. Emmy's mother looks similarly pained by the thought. And I kept that promise. Just listen, there's no reason to go throwing people out of the house. Emmy's mother seems to be both angry at her daughter's outburst and embarrassed that I've witnessed to it. There's only one real solution to this problem, I think. It's okay, I'll go. No, really, that seems a little unnecessary. Don't worry about it. Thank you for dinner, Miss Ibaraki, and for the advice. It's my pleasure, Hisao. I'm sorry we didn't get to the dessert. That's okay, I have to watch what I eat anyway. Good evening, Emmy, Miss Ibaraki. The formality of our conversation, coupled with the fact that I'm getting ready to leave, it seems to snap Emmy out of her anger. No, wait, I'm sorry, I've been so... And after last night, I just thought... You don't have to go. I take it back, it's okay. I can't help but smile slightly. She can barely articulate her apology, and I really would like to stay. But I don't think I can right now. I need to think about what our mother said, and about what I'm going to do about us. I don't want to risk accidentally getting Amy angry again in her current state either. No, I think I'd better leave. You seem pretty shook up, and well, I'd only wind up trying to help you again. I know you'd prefer I didn't, so I'm going to leave instead. But, hey, it's not a problem. You don't want a night on a white charger, right? Just promise me one thing, okay? What? Don't be angry at your mom, okay? She was just giving me some advice, that's all. Emmy nods, hesitantly. Like this simple idea is all that she can grab onto at this point. She's so terribly off balance, but I can't do anything about this right now. Okay. See you tomorrow, okay? Running in the morning, don't forget. I can see that I've hurt Emmy by deciding to leave, but there's nothing I can do for her as things stand, and I know that she's too stubborn to admit that she wants me to stick around. I watch various emotions cross Emmy's face as she tries to process everything that's just happened. Shortly comes that calm look again, like last night, and that voice that tries so hard to sound careless. Sure, Sal, see you around. Both of us are unwilling to concede emotion at this point, and I'm having a hard time keeping up my facade, so I turn on my heel and walk out the door. I shut it behind me slowly, pausing for a moment as the latch catches my hand on the doorknob. Did I make the right decision just now? Should I have stayed and tried to work things out? I feel like he should have stayed, but... No, I decide. Not in front of her mother like that, in spite of everything. I'd rather keep Annie's mother insulated from the sort of anger that surfaced last night. Even though she's probably used to it, some protective instinct wants me to keep Emmy's image as a cheerful girl intact. As if her mother doesn't already have that image, like, destroyed and knows what's really up. For a start, I realize my hand is still resting on the knob. I take my hand away, put it in my pocket, and head down the slowly darkening street. Hang on, I need to drink some water. My throat's getting dry. Okay, sorry about that. I let out a long breath. Wait until tomorrow morning comes isn't going to be easy. In any case, I have to think on what to say to Emmy. I must apologize, and I must get through to her somehow. On that account, something has been on my mind for most of the way back to my room. A letter of apology from Iwanaka. Oh, right. I was so concerned about my new life when I received it that I didn't even bother to really read it. Now that I find myself in a similar position, my curiosity got rekindled. What did she want to let me know so badly? If nothing else, reading her thoughts might help might help me frame mine up. I remember tossing it away. Damn, where did I throw that thing? Checking on my desk, that turns up nothing, so I look for harder to reach, more unlikely locations. Well, now I know where that lost sock went, at least. Still no letter, though. It's when I try sweeping my arm under my nightstand that I feel something crinkled, jammed between it and the wall. Grunting a little with the effort, I reach for my prize and soon manage to bring it into the light. Bingo. I sit at my desk and spread the crumbled paper open. A flick turns on the table light. Skipping past the pleasantries, I look for the point where I stopped reading. Ah, here it is. There are other things I want to say. I'm writing to you because I felt that there are things I should have said after the incident back in winter. I really regret that I wasn't able to say them in person, and I have no excuse for it. The truth is, the times when I visited you in the hospital made me worried about you. I'm not talking about your health. You seem to become more distant and disheartened. It was natural after something like that happened, I'm sure, but somehow I got the feeling that you had given up on something back then. Happiness, maybe? Giving up on happiness? This sounds unpleasantly familiar. I wanted to somehow express my feelings, but the right words didn't come to me. I couldn't say anything to comfort you. I'm really sorry for not being able to support you when it mattered the most. Even though I like you so much, at least now, finally, I can be more honest. If I could go back to those quiet days in February and March, I'd tell you not to give up on yourself. That's what I would say. Maybe you wouldn't have drifted so far away if I had just said something. I hope you've managed to get back on your feet on your own. Now that the distance between us is also physical, it also feels more final, somehow. I wonder if we will meet again. Perhaps it's for the best if we don't. Still, if you would like to correspond with me, by all means write me back. I'd very much like to hear about your new school and how you're doing. I wish you all the best. Iwanako. It's not a real name. After finishing reading the letter, I smooth it out carefully and set it aside on my desk. Thank you, Iwanako. I wanted to answer yes to your question on that snowy winter day, but I never got to. By the time we met again, it was too late. Or so I thought. What would have happened if I had behaved differently back in that dismally sterile hospital room? I'm sorry. There's no point in wondering now, but there's no point in trying to forget either. I am who I am because of all that happens to me, and all I look for, And all I look forward to experience, present, future, and past. And the past may just have taught me an important lesson now. That was a very archaic way to write that sentence. Well, made it to Act 4, which might be a good thing. I don't actually know about the Emmy endings. I don't know how many she has or if any of them end in Act 3, because I remember Rin had a bad ending that ended in Act 3, but I don't know if anyone else actually had that. I can't remember. I feel like everyone else just you get to Act 4 no matter what, but I feel like it's possible if I ran after Emmy there, that could have been a bad ending, where we like broke up or something if I ran after her at her house, maybe. Either way, I feel like that choice probably mattered in some way. I don't know. The last, 3 choices have all felt like they matter, but that can't be the case. There can't be that many that matter. There's usually, 2 max that matter. Oh, I guess that could be 3, actually. But, there couldn't be 3 within Act 3 that matter. There could only be like one in Act 3 that matters, so it was probably that last one, if it even did matter. It's very possible it doesn't. But it probably does. The sound of my alarm is an unwelcome intrusion on a sleep that's been a battle to obtain. I doubt I've been truly asleep for more than an hour or two. Too much on my mind. Did I make the right choice leaving the house yesterday? Did I manage to get Emmy to realize how unreasonable she's been? Am I ever going to manage to get her to stop being unreasonable? Emmy's mum gave me a new perspective the other day, but I'm still not sure that it's the right perspective. She was hurt when I left yesterday too. I know that part of any conversation in it is going to have to include apology about that. Right thing to do or not, I heard her. Hurry down to the track, eager to talk to Emmy. I think I know what to say, apologize for leaving first, and go ahead from there. Unless, of course, Emmy doesn't show up. Which from the looks of things, seems like it's the case. It's been about 15 minutes since I got here, and there's no sign of her. She's never late, not unless she's sick, which is unlikely. She probably just doesn't want to see me right now. Take my mind off what that implies, I begin my warm-up routine and take off around the track. You should go see her, bro. What if she's like... Clears my mind wonderfully. For the first half hour I'm running, I don't think about anything but the run. However, once I'm finished and Emmy still hasn't shown up, I get a little worried. With any luck, the nurse will know where she is. If nothing else, I can see what he thinks I should do next. So last night didn't go too well, I take it. Huh? You already know? I have my ways. It's not if I'd missed the distinct absence of your running partner this morning now, would I? No, I suppose not. So, what happened? Don't you know already? Maybe, but I could be bluffing. Perhaps I'd prefer to get your side of the story before I give any advice. I quickly fill the nurse in on the events of last night, and he takes it all in without changing expression once. Knowing about the whole event seems to surprise him, although he does seem surprised when I say that I didn't follow Emmy. Chose to talk to her more instead, huh? Smart move. Though I guess it didn't work out too well for you in the end. Well, I'm not sure. Emmy seemed apologetic when I left, or at least she seemed that way until she put up her defenses again. The nurse sighs and spreads his hand in a conciliatory gesture? Alright. Frankly, I'm surprised that she let them down at all. Emmy's had a lot of practice on that score. You probably won't get anything else out of her. I don't believe you. Is that so? I think she'll tell you the whole tale. I swear I just saw the nurse's eyes glitter a little. His expression is the same, but he leans forward ever so slightly. I think she'll open up if I ask her without being an idiot about it, yeah. Nurse gives an enigmatic smile in response, and shrugs widely. I think he's enjoying his role a little too much. That's the real chick, isn't it? Are you sure you know the right way to approach the subject? I can guarantee that Emmy's going to try her hardest to pretend last night didn't happen. It'll be painfully awkward for the both of you, but it'll also be a lot safer than trying to ask her for the whole story again. It could go worse this time. Are you ready for something like that? It seems like a challenge, like he doesn't believe for a minute that I'd be so bold. I actually feel a little insulted by his lack of confidence in me. Of course I'm ready for that. I love her. Outburst gets a raised eyebrow in response. Well then. Good luck. Let me know how it all turns out. Although he delivers his parting shot with the same smirk as usual, I actually think that the nurse wants me to succeed. It's just the urge to charge directly to Emmy's room to prove the nurse wrong. I've gone in half-cooked before, and the results were less than stellar. Was that half-cooked or half-cocked? Half-cooked. God damn it. If I'm going to do this, I need to figure out exactly what I'm going to say and how I'm going to say it. Something to think about in class. Sure enough, by the time lunch rolls around, I think I've had enough... I think I have a good idea of what to say. I can do this. The bell rings, and I grab my lunch and dash up the stairs, eager to be there first. I'll need to ask Ren to leave, and I'll need to... Hey, Sal. Sorry I wasn't able to run with you this morning. I overslept. Somehow, both Emmy and Rin have managed to get to the roof before me. Oh, well, that's no problem. Last night was kinda draining, I guess. Emmy's expression doesn't alter in the slightest. Yeah, sorry about that, but I've had such a weird morning since then. Oh, really? Emmy proceeds to make small talk for the rest of the time. I can barely get a word in edgewise, and soon find myself interjecting with the sort of back-and-forth dialogue that seems to have defined our early relationship. I'm not going to get anywhere on this problem during lunch, obviously. I can respect that Emmy obviously doesn't want to accidentally pull Rin into things, and that's fine. Not that I think Rin would notice, but I can at least respect that sort of rationale. Look at her. Look at her blank fucking face. She's not gonna notice shit. Try a different tactic. Hear me. What are you up to after class today? I was thinking we could go somewhere for dinner or something. Amy looks genuinely remorseful. Sorry, Hasao. I promised the track captain that I'd stick around after practice and help some of the other kids with their farm. It'll have to be some other time. Yeah, sure. I'm honestly not sure what to do now. Maybe driving into things the day after would be a bad idea anyway. She might still be angry about it and just not showing it. Besides, if she's got track team responsibilities, that's fine, right? I tell myself some variation of this theme the next day, then the next. I wake up, run with Emmy, during while she refuses to talk about anything but the run and what she was doing the night before, and then lunch, where we sit and make small talk until the bell rings. New responsibilities effectively keep me from seeing her outside of school. Maybe, just maybe, I'm letting it happen because it's safer this way, just like the nurse said. Except while it may be safer, I'm feeling more and more wretched. Watched. Emmy doesn't look good when I see her anymore. Dark circles lurk under her eyes. She seems more and more distracted, and I can't bring myself to just ask what's wrong, because the timing never seems right. I'm absolutely miserable. Oh shit, are we on the bad ending, actually? Yeah. Kind of weird. I feel like this is the lowest point. Now lunch comes. I trudge up the stairs to the rooftop like a condemned man. Rin is up there, but Emmy is not. Immediately, I worry that something's happened to her. Maybe the lack of sleep finally made her collapse, or something worse. She seemed pretty tired after our morning run. Maybe she fell asleep and didn't even make it to class. Hey, Rin, where's Emmy? In response, I get a rather penetrating look from Rin, and something approaching a frown appears on her face. Is that information really important? I think so. She's usually here with you, isn't she? I don't know. I have no way of being sure. I can confirm that she is. In fact, usually here with you when I come up. Well, she isn't now. Does that worry you? Kinda. Seems to end the conversation and the point becomes moot anyway because Emmy bounds through the door with her usual energy. See, I was kind of worried about you, Emmy. I don't think he can decide, or maybe I just don't believe him. But I think I'm gonna go somewhere less awkward. She's like, I ain't gonna deal with this shit. I'm so surprised by Rin's being so suddenly forward about, well, anything at all that I merely watch her head through the door. Emmy is similarly surprised and colors slightly crimson as she stares open-mouthed at me. It occurs to me that I should probably say something, if only to break the awkward silence that has suddenly descended. It's because you weren't here yet. I was, worried about it. Why? You're usually here, so I was worried that something had happened to you. This isn't the first time that I've been late, you know. Did you get worried all the other times, too? Not really. Emmy seems slightly amused by this. I don't know why, but this kind of pisses me off. Jesus! So what was this time an exception? Maybe it's the light, teasing tone of the question, but something in her spot pushes me to be honest, though I can't help snapping at her when I say, "Oh, no, sir, you fucking fool!" Because you've been worrying me since dinner at the house, that's why. Well, now it's out in the open, and Emmy's eyes are wide, and she looks like she wants to bolt, but she doesn't. Ah, still on that, I see. What, you think I'm supposed to just forget about it? You threw me out of your house. We've been going on for almost a week, pretending it never happened. Just get out of class, ye. Oh shit, you had... you had a class. The relationship is crashing, yeet. Yep. I was wondering why you weren't here. I thought Well, actually, I was an idiot, because for some reason I thought it was Pokemon Go, even though we're in lockdown. And did you see lockdown got worse? 2-week extension! And now there's curfew! And playgrounds are closed! The relationship isn't the only thing that's crashing. So is the economy and society and my mental state. But yeah, you missed an absolute fucking disaster. And I'm in Act 4 now instead of Act 3. Yep. But yeah, it makes more sense that you were just in class. And by in class, just in a Zoom call, I guess. Or Discord. No, wait, you were offline from Discord. So it probably was Zoom or something. Yeet. Oh yeah, I didn't see you bring it up either, you know. I know, and I'm sorry that was the case. We have to address it, or we'll just keep up this, whatever it is we've got right now. Whoa. I'm sorry, that was something on my end being weird. It's killing me to look at how you look right now. Did you know that? The circles under your eyes and that distracted look in them. And I can't help worrying that I've caused it somehow. You haven't, trust me. Well, I haven't helped either. I keep pushing you to tell me things you aren't ready to tell me. Maybe I was wrong to try getting your mother to help me out, but I've been so worried about that, I didn't know what else to do. You don't have to worry about me anymore, okay? I think it's pretty clear we're not right for each other, so maybe we should just stop. Oh shit. Well, to be fair, I thought she was gonna break up with me at the house, so... Lasted a week longer, boys. Her face is twisted as she says this, like she doesn't want to say it, but forces herself to anyway. You don't actually want that, do you? Heck, you can barely bring yourself to say it. Anyway, it won't keep me from worrying about you. I care too much about you to just stop on command. You don't want to tell me what's wrong, that's fine, but I won't stop trying to help you, even if it's just standing by you. Stop saying that. She's shaking now, she looks at me. I can see she's afraid and frustrated, and a million different things all at once. I shake my head slowly and take a few steps towards it. That's a little... I wouldn't get closer right now. You know what your mom told me? She told me that you'd never ask for help because you know that you're strong enough to get through anything on your own. But that's not the full story, is it? Her eyes go wide and she takes a step back. I keep going because I think I've finally figured it out. Something tells me I won't get another shot. I've put it off for far too long as it is. There's no harm in having someone help you, unless you're worried about needing help in the first place. You're scared, aren't you? Because of... I trail off, because I don't know for certain what happened to Amy's father, and I don't want to jump to a conclusion. Well, never mind why, but it's okay to be afraid. You've been running from it, and from me, for so long. Even though you know eventually you have to turn around and face your fear. And I'm going to be there to help when you do. I won't stop, because I don't think you'd want me to. You can understand that sort of determination, can you? Sao is filled with determination. I can see that I've gotten through to her, but she quickly falls back to anger to try to push me away again. Back on your white charger, Sao? Gotta help the poor cripple face her emotional problems? What do you know about me? And about what I've already had to face? You think 2 months of learning how to walk again was fun? But I did it. And after I did that, I had to... For a moment, it seems as if she was going to say something else. But she cuts herself off. Motivational speech, Sao. Whoa, she's looking pissed. And after all that, you don't think you can get past your fears? Wait, I read that as Emmy. And after all that, you don't think you can get past your fear? Emmy, I can't fathom what you've been through, but to come through it and still be the sort of girl that you are, well, makes me think that you had even more strength than you think. So I'm not gonna help. That was a terrible last sentence. You can't just use think twice like that. I'm not gonna help you because I think you need rescuing. I don't want to be a knight rescuing the damsel in distress. But even knights helped each other out, you know? I want to help you, even though I know you can do it on your own. For a moment, it looks like Emmy's going to break down completely, but she doesn't. Tears run down her face, but she stares at me steadily. Why are you trying so hard to help me? I'd say it's because I owe you one for helping me out when we first met, but that wouldn't be the truth. The truth is, I just want you to be happy because I love you. Had I ever said that before? I've been in a relationship, and it's been pretty obvious that I love her, but did I ever actually speak the words? What did you say? I say it again, savoring the feeling of being able to say it at all, being able to say it and mean it. Emmy seems stunned. I said I love you, Emmy. I love you. Just you. And that makes me want to stand by you, no matter what you have to face. I'm wrapped in a fierce hug then, as Emmy begins to sob against my chest. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry about everything, but I'm so scared, Hisao. I'm so scared of losing you, and I love you too, but I can't lose you. I'm so sorry. I hold her quietly shushing her until she settles down. She steps back, a little more composed. Will you come with me tomorrow, back to my house? There's some things I need to show you if I'm gonna do this. Of course. Maybe this time we can leave together, instead of separately. Emmy grins, a sudden flash of brightness that seems more genuine than anything I've seen in the past week. Yeah, maybe. Lunch bell rings, and I curse the universe's poor sense of timing. Are you free tonight? We can talk more then, right? Emmy shakes her head. Sorry, Sal, but I'm still helping the track team. Plus, I don't think it would be good if we talked this over tonight. I'm gonna be too tired to think properly, and I want to be able to tell you everything without screwing it up. You can wait, right? Even now, there's a bit of fear in her voice. I smile and rest a hand on her shoulder. Alright. Alright. Okay, I'll be waiting. Hang on, I need to go check something. I just heard someone yell something out. Alright, I'm back. With a brand new track. Emmy gives me a quick kiss before she heads for the stairwell. Thanks, Asao. See you tomorrow morning. Wouldn't miss it. Head down the stairs with a feel of her lips on mine, suddenly aware of how much I've missed this sensation. I'll have to remember to thank Rin for getting us to talk to one another. Well, it's possible she won't even realize what she's done. Still, if not for her, I doubt I'd have been able to confront Emmy again. Rin's just really forward. I just love how she's like, I'm gonna go somewhere less awkward now. I guess I needed more help than I realized. Tomorrow, however, I'll have to stand alone through whatever Emmy's trying to work herself up to doing. I'll be up to the task, I hope. Alright, I need to actually grab a drink of water again. My glass is too small. It's too small. That's the problem. I keep needing to go and refill it. My throat keeps getting dry. I'll be back. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Get a personal water cooler? I mean, it's not a bad idea on its own. Like, having one would be neat, but way too expensive. Because it's not just the water cooler. You need to pay for every time. You need to bloody refill the damn thing. You gotta pay for all those huge bottles. And even if you buy the bottles empty and then fill them with tap water yourself, you still gotta fill it. Like, that'd take a while and be annoying to do in a sink anyway. Because my old house, no, not my old house, my old house had a detachable, the sink hose. I don't know, is it a hose where you could detach it so that you could do stuff if it was something that wouldn't fit in a sink under the tap. So, I don't know, I guess I'd use the hose outside, maybe? Is that water clean? I don't know. But yeah, it'd be a pain to fill. To have to put it in the thing, which is fine, but like, I also feel like it'd be expensive to run, right? Like, electricity-wise. Fill in the shower galaxy brain. That'd be... that'd be terrible, I feel. It takes so long, because you'd, like, the lid would barely be able to fit any of the things in it. Unless you, like, your shower has, like, a really, like, focused mode or something, I don't know. I feel like that'd be terribly long. And it would waste a lot of it, too, to be honest. Yeah, I also feel like it'd just be expensive to run, because, like, things that, like fridges and heaters and stuff that, like, cools and heats things are really expensive. And water coolers cool the water, right? So, I feel like it'd be fairly expensive to run. But just having one, if I could just have one, then that wouldn't actually be that bad of an idea. Since I have my separate room now, you know, there's a lot of space in this room with my desk and shelves and all that. Like, I could definitely put, I don't know, I could just put any random crap in here, really. I could probably easily fit an arcade machine in here and still have plenty of room. Can I actually just, like, leave it off and just use the tap? Maybe you can leave the... Oh, maybe? Maybe you can turn the cooling function off. I was gonna... for some reason, I thought if you turn it off completely, then it wouldn't work at all. But the water just coming out the bottom, like, spout type thingy is probably fine, actually. That probably would work without... Even if the thing itself isn't on. Maybe then. Because I was gonna say that, but then I thought, no, there wouldn't be a mode where you can, like, turn that off. And then I thought, for some reason, I thought, like, if it was, like, for it to work at all, it would need to be turned on. Alright, whatever. Either way, probably just to... You know what? Fuck it. We're talking about it now. Let's look up the price of a water cooler on its own. Essential workers, work providers scramble to provide permits for their workers before the end of the day noise. Yeah. Oh, fuck, they're expensive on their own. Jesus Christ. 250, 129. That one's kind of cheap, but still. That one's almost $300. Jesus. And that's a desktop one. Oh, it's because it's a water filter cooler. Yeah, even the desktop ones are kind of expensive. Oh, Jesus, that one's $300. What the hell? Wacky. Yeah, no, probably not gonna do that. I mean, there's no point, but... It was kind of a joke anyway, but... I wanted to think about the logistics. The morning sun is bright from my open window, and the sound of my alarm quickly has me up and about. I slept surprisingly well last night, secure in the knowledge that at least I've got another chance with Emmy. If I can just keep myself from doing anything stupid, maybe I'll find out what's been eating her recently. I don't know, Hasao. You're pretty stupid in this route. I have a few educated guesses, but nothing concrete, and certainly nothing that I'm going to say to her. I'd much prefer to have her tell me herself. Although I can't help remembering the nurse's warning that I might not like what she has to say. Do I really need to know that badly? Well, if it's something awful that makes me repulsed by her, can I really say that I'm prepared to handle whatever she has to say, regardless of what it is? Ooh, the mystery of the secret. What if she, took me somewhere and, was like, this is where I've buried 7 bodies of the people I've killed. Amy said she wanted to tell me without screwing it up. What the hell does she mean by that? What's there to screw up? Suppose there's not much use worrying about it, though. I'll find out today. It occurs to me that I really, really need a run this morning to clear my head, if nothing else. Amy is waiting for me as promised, looking a little haggard, but otherwise bright and cheerful. Much more so than any previous day this week. So, you're late. I wave my hand dismissively. Nonsense, you're just early. Amy grins back, and it feels like we're finally back where we should be with one another. Except now Emmy, not just me, wants to take another step forward. Though a part of me worries that she'll back out at the last second. Hurry up and stretch us out. I don't want to miss the bus. The bus? I said I wanted you to come back to my house, remember? And I promised Mum would be there in time for lunch, so I wanted to hurry. Early start, huh? It's more for my Mum's benefit than anything else. Oh, well, that's okay. I unsuccessfully try to guess what Emmy has planned, shortly before realizing that it doesn't matter that much to me. I quickly go for my warm-up routine while Emmy bounces impatiently from one foot to the other. She really does seem to want to get moving as soon as possible. The run is over so quickly, I can barely believe that I haven't fallen over dead afterwards. Emmy sets a blistering pace, and I, in my foolishness, keep up with her. Well, until the last few laps. I had to slow down just in case, but I don't mind, and Emmy's waiting patiently for me when I finish. As patiently as she can wait, anyway. Finished? Good, come on. Grabbing my arm, she practically rushes me down to the nurse's office. You seem in a hurry, Emmy? Trying to catch the early bus? Yeah, I told Mum I'd be back for lunch. Well, I'll take care of you first then. But Sal's gotta come with me too. Nurse raises a single eyebrow at the statement and peers at the two of us searchingly. Really? Today, huh? Emmy's response is a nod, followed by a surprisingly shy grin. Well then, we'll make this quick. Emmy enters the nurse's office, and I patiently wait outside for her to be finished, wondering just why the nurse seemed to be surprised by Emmy's declaration. I feel like I'm missing out on some joke or the significance of today, beyond the fact that it's clearly significant in some way, of course. Damn, we haven't heard this jamming fucking tune in so long. Might be the last time we hear it. Oh my god. Enjoy it, everybody. Alright. True to his word, the nurse has Emmy out of his office surprisingly quickly, and I take her place after promising to meet up at the front gate. The nurse takes my pulse and listens for a bit. Your heart beats faster than usual. Been pushing yourself again, have you? Well, Emmy seemed in a rush to get through this run, so... I'm not surprised. Today's rather important to her, you know? I suspected that could be the case, but I have no idea why that's the case. She hasn't told you? Interesting. So you're not going to tell me either, then? No, I'm not. I suspect that Emmy has her own plans for explaining today to you, and I don't want to mess that up. You'll find out soon enough, so what's the rush? And as for your heart, I would take it easy for the rest of the day. No spontaneous races or anything like that, got it? Got it. She won't have her running legs on anyway, right? No, but if you think something like that is gonna stop her... Good point. I don't think it'll be much of an issue today of all days, but still. He's trying to reassure me he's doing a terrible job. I'm quickly becoming more and more worried about what today could be for. Like suddenly finding out Emmy's in a cult or something. At the same time, if today is it's the day we all kill ourselves, Tessao, so that we can be teleported to the meteor. At the same time, if today is such a big deal and Emmy wants me to be with her for it, then maybe she really does want to grow closer to me. Maybe this will be the answer to all the riddles, to the sleepless nights and the sudden mood swings. Either way, I barely remember to thank the nurse before taking off as quickly as I dare for my room. To get a shower and throw on some decent looking clothes. If today's as important as it seems to be, I should dress appropriately. Emmy, of course, proves me wrong as soon as I reach the front gate, wearing her usual shirt and shorts, so at least I know I'm not it's not a terribly formal affair, whatever it is. What did he say? Decent looking clothes. Isn't this decent looking clothes? What do you mean decent looking clothes? Like just looking nice when you go out? Isn't that what you should be doing anyway? You really, Sal. Decent looking clothes. That's not, of course it's not formal. You only put on decent clothes? What do you... Oh, that's funny. Oh my god, decent clothing, guys. So formal. Not as early as you, eager are we? Amy cheekily pokes out her tongue. The bus stop isn't very crowded at this hour, which seems to please Emmy, and we end up relaxing a little as we wait. We sit in silence for a while, but I can tell that Emmy's trying to work herself up to say something. I don't have anything to say myself, so I sit waiting for her to talk. It doesn't take too long. So, I'm sure you're curious as to why the nurse thought it was so weird for me to be bringing you along today. I was a bit, yes, but I'm not really, but if you're not ready to tell me... Emmy stops my sentence by placing a finger on my lips. Come on, Hisao! She said she's ready to tell you everything today. Don't tempt me, Hisao. I want to tell you this, but I'm just uncertain as to how to go about it. I don't want to keep delaying or defending, I just want to be able to say it. So say it. You know that's not going to be easy for me, Hisao. Just treat it like running. Warm up to it with something small and easy and go from there. But don't do it too fast, okay? I'm a patient man, I can wait for you to get to it. Emmy seems to consider my words, weighing them against what is probably a desire to get it over with. I will admit, as much as I keep telling Emmy to take her time, I wouldn't mind her getting it over with either. But somehow, I know that Emmy probably needs more time than the bus ride will provide to get it all over, to get it all out, whatever it is. Yeah, maybe you're right. The bus stop probably isn't the best place for this anyway. But just to make sure that I don't go back on my word, I'll at least say this. She takes a deep breath, lets it out, and after a moment says in a low voice, "You're going to see my dad today." The words hang in the air, and I can see that Emmy's afraid that I'll panic and disappear in response, which a part of me almost wants to do. But it would be stupid of me to back out, or to suddenly abandon the promise I made to be there for Emmy when she needs me. And I always thought it was so weird for her to bring me along. She doesn't bring anyone along, or at least I'm willing to bet that she hasn't before today. The day seems to take on an even greater significance. What has it taken Emmy to even get this far? Ah. Why is that the best I can manage as a response? Yeah. I don't know what I should say. Nothing, I think. Just promise that you're gonna come with me. Of course, you know I will. Emmy smiles wanly, looking a little relieved. Good. In that case, we'd better get going. The bus pulls up just a little after she finishes the sentence. Vague memories of my first trip out here come to mind as I step off the bus, but unfortunately, they're too vague to be of any use. I'll be the first to admit that I don't quite recall how to get to Emmy's house, so I let her lead the way. She seems content to walk in silence, and I myself have no idea what I could possibly say, so the two of us arrive at her house, having said nothing since getting off the bus. Emmy's mother opens the door and doesn't seem surprised to see me standing next to her daughter. I expect that Emmy would have phoned ahead to let her mother know of the change in plans. Emmy, Asao, you're just in time. Lunch is just about ready. Great, I was afraid we might be running late. As fast as you were going this morning, I doubt there was much of a chance of that. Certainly hope she wasn't too much of a bother, Asao. She tends to get a little paranoid about being on time when food's involved. I hadn't noticed. So it ends me a swat in the arm from Emmy, who, despite the serious nature of our conversation on the bus and the almost brooding quiet walk, has quickly become cheerful again. Probably to keep her mother from worrying about whatever it is Emmy plans to tell me later. Miss Ibarazaki ushers us in, and in short order, we're around the table devouring lunch. I hadn't realized how hungry I was until I got here, but for once, I seem to be eating almost as much as Emmy. Goodness, it's a good thing I made so much. The two of you are acting like you haven't eaten in days. I skipped a breakfast this morning. Me too. Had to catch the bus, I assumed. That, and I figured you'd make too much food, so it wouldn't matter if I skipped a breakfast. That reminds me of when, my friend told me about how there was this Japanese restaurant near his house that had all-you-can-eat for, like really cheap. It was, like, $25 for all-you-can-eat. And I was like, oh, fuck yes, we're doing that. And then me and my mate and him, 3 of us went, and, all of us... Actually, no, he ate food normally before that. But me and my other friend didn't eat anything for the entire day until dinner, and then just ordered a shit ton of food at the fucking restaurant. We fucking destroyed that place. We ran that place out of goddamn business. No, not really, obviously. But they definitely made a deficit on us free ordering. They can get away with an all-you-can-eat menu because you just put, you put cheap things on the all-you-can-eat menu. People spend $25, and I bet, like, 9 times out of 10 they don't eat $25 worth. Or maybe the other meals at your restaurant just cost so much that it doesn't matter. But, like, we had so much. Even with all 3 of us paying $25, we destroyed that goddamn place. We had so much. Definitely more than $25 worth of food. At least if we were ordering. Maybe not $25 for them to make. I don't know. A lot of Japanese food's pretty cheap to make, all things considered. That, and I figured you'd make too much... Alright, yeah. Well, it's good to know that I'm, predictable. Amy nods enthusiastically, and conversation falls off again as we very nearly clear the table of anything edible. It is a testament to the sheer amount of food on offer that we don't finish everything. I lean back in my chair and sigh and thank Miss Ibarazaki for the food. I'm glad you liked it, Asao. And has Amy told you where we're going? Yeah, sort of. Is it far from here? Not really, but we'll drive there to save time. It closes kind of early. I nod in assent and stand up, ready to go. Well then, shall we? Zerix nods and leaves the room to grab the keys. Emi, I notice, has started to fidget nervously. Second thoughts? Emi smiles tightly at me and shrugs. She's full on Saturn again, which probably means that I'm right, and she's starting to regret bringing me along. Not that I blame her, she's done such a good job of shutting me out that I doubt it's easy to suddenly open up. Honestly, I'm worried that she's forcing it. But she said while waiting for the bus that I'm not supposed to give her a chance to back out, and since I promised to go with her anyway, I suppose there's not much of a choice. I can't go back on my promise, and she can't go back on hers. I just hope that both of us are up to it. We're off. Emi's mother blows through the dining room, collects the 2 of us, and heads out of the door at a brisk pace. Now I know where her daughter gets it from. The car pulls up at the cemetery gates, and I feel Emi tense up beside me. I reach over and give her hand a comforting squeeze, which causes her to relax a little. Emi's mother doesn't follow us, explaining that she prefers to visit the grave alone. Emi steps through the gate and looks back as if to make sure I'm still there. We step into the cemetery. I don't feel comfortable in cemeteries, gravestone litter the ground, each one serving as a reminder that someone used to be alive and is no longer. How many died young? How many were as old as I am now? When do I wind up with a marker of my own? How much longer do I have left? The concept of not waking up, not seeing any anymore, is not a happy one. It frightens me, and I very nearly turn around and exit right there and then. I don't want to go among dead people. I don't want to see their stones and think about who they were or what they could have been if they'd only had one more time. Then I look at the girl next to me, and my resolve return. Emi striding purposely down the path, eyes clear, setting a pace that's very nearly a jog. The sooner we get there, I suspect she thinks the better. We're here. A gravestone, wholly unremarkable in everything except for the name etched upon it. The grass has grown up around the base. Emmy's eyes are riveted? What? To the stone. After a few moments, she turns around, looking surprisingly calm, yet solemn. Pink's not actually my favorite color, you know. Oh, what? I'm warming up to it. Ah. People tend to think that pink's my favorite color. I think it's because I like strawberries, and even though those are red, they just assume that pink's the right color for strawberries. What? Hisao casually having an existential crisis. Yeah, he really, like, freaked out by being in the graveyard. He's like, oh shit, I'm immortal. No. And that is my favorite color, but it's not. I'm too polite to tell anyone otherwise, of course. And it's not the kind of thing worth getting worried about. But I'll bet even you thought pink was my favorite color. I didn't think that. Blue, that's my favorite color. My mom and dad are the only two who knew that. Now you do too. Well, I didn't think it was blue, but I didn't think it was pink. Thanks for telling me, I think. Pink is like... If someone's favorite color is pink, I feel like it's usually pretty fucking obvious. Like, hey guys, guess what my favorite color is? Can you tell what my favorite color is? My favorite color is pink. And I feel like everyone whose favorite color is pink, it's really fucking obvious because they have a lot of pink shit. It's usually really fucking... I don't know why with pink, it's always like that. It's like, yes, make everything pink. Other people, their favorite color, it's like, yeah, it's their favorite, but they don't overdo it. Everyone who likes pink over fucking does it. You're welcome. There's a pause as she considers what to say next, drawing a quick breath. I can't carry a tune to save my life. I can hum, but actually singing a song is something I've never been able to do. I don't mind because I'm not a fan of karaoke anyway. Well, that's one potential date idea out the window. No! Dude, that would be... That's a deal breaker right there. No karaoke date? Screw that. Gotta have karaoke date. People will think that I'm a really popular and friendly person, but I only have a few close friends, probably because I keep everyone in the dark, but I think it's also because I hate the idea of losing a close friend. There aren't many people worth the risk. I'm terrible at saying goodbye. I sometimes think that I only run because it's what I used to do with my father. You're not my first boyfriend. I dated a guy for a long while during my second year at Yamaku, but in the end we broke up because I didn't want to get closer to him. He couldn't live with that distance between us. Rated speaking increases slightly as if she's rushing towards a finish line. I'm actually 1 year older than you. Everyone thinks I'm younger because I'm short, but I had to skip one school year because of my accident. They initially thought I was paralyzed when they pulled me out of the wreckage. I'd lost my legs already, and they were afraid that I wouldn't even be able to use what was left of them. After surgery, it was clear that their initial assessment was mistaken. I couldn't feel my legs, because of shock. Short-term paralysis due to the other trauma I'd experienced. My recovery was one of the fastest they'd ever seen, or so they told me. I never found out if they were serious about that, or if they told that to all the patients learning to walk again. She bothers, gathering herself for one last effort. 8 years ago today, I lost my legs, and I lost my father as well. He died on the way to the hospital, and I didn't even get to go to the gravesite until 2 months later, and couldn't attend his funeral. I'm so sorry. Don't be. That's what everyone else says, that they're sorry. I hate hearing that. Like anyone could have done anything to change what happened. You know the best piece of advice I got? These things happen. I don't even remember who said it, but I guess they didn't have anything better to say. But it's true, you know, these things happen, and there's nothing you can do about it. They aren't necessarily planned, and they aren't always bad, but they aren't always good, but they are. What? Oh, but I see what she's saying. So I made the decision that I would live without worrying about the future, and to be sure that I never had to say goodbye again. I decided that I wouldn't let people get close to me anymore. After all, they could be taken away at any moment, and you know that. And you know what? She laughs, a little bitterly. Her eyes start to well up with tears, and I step forward to embrace her, but she holds up a hand to stop me. I'm not finished. A deep breath, and she continues. It worked pretty well, until I met you and saw that you were trying to adjust to stuff here. So I thought I'd help you, and then you were so nice, and I couldn't help it, That's nice. There we go. That's a nice one. Social distance us out. Is it just me, or does it look like her socks are like under her prosthetics? That's weird. Shouldn't they be over them? Right? Look at that. It looks like her prosthetics are like over the socks. Even though it should be the other way around. The socks should be over the prosthetic. That's weird. The tears are flowing now, and she accepts the embrace this time. The rest of her sentence is muddled into my chest. Tried not to fall for you, but I did. And then I tried to keep you at a distance, like my first boyfriend, but I couldn't. But I've been so scared because I don't want to lose you, and I might anyway. Are those even socks? I feel like that's what they are. The white bit? They're socks, right? And I mean, way back when we first visited the house, I guess you weren't here, but when we first visited the house, he mentioned how she wore socks. White, like knee-high socks over her prosthetics, which made them a little less obvious. I don't know what else that white bit could be. I mean, maybe it's part of the prosthetics, at most. Kind of looks like a joint part. Maybe that is what it is. Maybe she's just wearing normal socks this time. I could see that. I guess I only jumped to it being socks because he said she was wearing socks last time. And I guess this time she's just wearing none or normal height socks. I don't know. But yeah, it could just be a joint part actually. Because she doesn't have her knees. So yeah, I guess that probably actually makes more sense. Because yeah, she doesn't have her knees. Right. Hey, I'm still around, right? Maybe I won't be forever, but don't you think it'll be fun while it lasts? Neither of us could survive the day. There could be a bus crash or something, but as long as I know that I've been with you, I don't think it matters. A sudden thought strikes me and I can't help laughing. My condition had me scared of dying so badly that I immediately seized on the opportunity Emmy presented to improve my odds of living longer. But without Emmy, would there have been any motion to keep up with my running? It hits me that Emmy is the reason I want to go running every day so I can spend as much time with her as possible. Emmy looks up at me, confused. We'll go on living until we stop. When we stop living, we'll be able to know that at least we've had time together. And I wouldn't have it any other way, because I love you, Emmy, and right now, that's enough for me. Emmy smiles through her tears and steps back from me. You know, it's funny. What is? I thought that the best way to live in the moment was to do it alone, but now I don't think I'd have it any other way either. I'm glad I met you, Sal. It's like the saying, you know? Better to have loved and lost than to have never loved. Well, these things happen. Because, I mean, yeah, it sucks if someone dies, or if you break up and, like, lose someone in any way, really. But I do feel like, I don't know, I mean, if you enjoy the relationship with them, you definitely shouldn't hold anything back. Because, like, even though it sucks that it ends eventually, I can still look back and realize, like, at the moment as it was happening, I was so much happier than if it hadn't been happening, you know? Even if it did end eventually. I stay by the grave for a while as Emi pays respects to her father. When she's ready to go, we exit the graveyard side by side. How common is getting buried in Japan? Because I know that graveyards, obviously, and gravestones exist in Japan. But I also know that a lot of people just have the shrine in their home. Which, when I had a girlfriend in Japan, I had to do that instead. Like, when I went to her grandma's house, she paid respect to her grandfather, and I, like, had to go in and do that as well. And it's like a room with all of the ancestors' pictures on the walls and everything, and I was like, oh god, this is terrifying. But it does make me wonder how common it is to get buried in Japan compared to just doing the usual shrine in the home thing. Or do people do both? I don't know. Emi's mother drives us back to Yamaku. The trip back is very quiet. We wave goodbye as the car drives off, and I glance down at the girl leaning on my arm. How are you feeling? Emi shrugs non-committally. I'll be fine. Come on, let's go. I pause outside the girls' dorm, and I turn to face Emi, ready to say goodbye. Why don't you come up for a while? Oh shit, Sal's gonna get some. Some depression sex. The walk up to her room is in silence. I'm not sure why I'm supposed to be turned... What? I'm not sure why I supposed I'd be turned away at the door. I guess I just assumed she'd want to be alone. Her mum, the nurse, hell, everyone who knew the significance of today seemed to think it best to leave Emi alone. But she took me to the graveyard with her. She told me the whole story of what happened on the day she lost her legs. She wanted me around. The significance of this does not escape me. Emi opens the door and steps into her room, not even bothering to invite me in, holding the door for me expectantly. Yeah, look, she has barely any pink in here. Clearly, pink's not her favorite color. Although there's not a lot of blue either. But like I said, with pink, it's always a lot of pink. Not so much with the other colors. Stepping in the door swings shut behind me, although she should have some blue if blue's really her favorite color. Hey, can I ask you a favor? Sure, can't guarantee I'll do it though, but... Emi giggles and puts me into a kiss that starts out soft but deepens into something almost desperate. Stay with me, please. Voices drop to a whisper. The question is barely audible over the sound of my own breathing. There's something about the way that she asked that question, the hesitancy in it, the quiet voice that makes me think she doesn't mean tonight. She doesn't mean tonight. No, she means exactly what she said. Stay with me. Not tonight or forever, because both of us know there's no such thing as forever. There's no time limit to a request. There's just the request. The favor. Can I do that? Can I stay with her? Of course. We embrace again, Emi guiding me towards her bed, stepping backwards with care until she sits down on the edge. Oh, no, not that. Get that up, just in case. Are we good? I don't know. I collapse next to Emi, who almost immediately kills against me, smiling. Mentally, I feel grateful that Emi keeps her nails short. Otherwise, I think she might have drawn blood. Surprise sex. Look, it wasn't that surprise. I kind of knew that was going to happen. But only because it's almost the end, and I did know this route had free sex scenes. So... I sit up briefly to dispose of the now used condom and lay back down. Hey! A route that mentions it again! I think it's just 3 of them then that mention it. I don't remember Rin mentioning it. I know Shizna definitely doesn't mention it. On the Lily route, they mention that Lily is on the pill. And I think on Hanako is the only route where he mentions putting on the condom during sex. And I guess in this one he does too. Since he mentions taking it off. And lay back down next to Emi, who's in turn taking care of cleaning herself off. Rin wouldn't care, yeet. I mean, probably, but there's still, that's a problem. It's weird that they don't mention it. Like, Lily, I thought it was weird they don't mention it, but then they address it later, with Lily saying she was on the pill. But Shizuna and Rin, they just never address it. And I'm like, damn, they're playing a risky game if those 2 aren't on the pill. It's like, goddamn. I know that in the alpha, actually, for Hanako, you can get an ending where she's pregnant. As like a joke ending that's only in the alpha, and obviously not in the finished game. But there was a joke, Hanako pregnant ending. For a while we lay in silence, savoring the feeling of being next to one. I'm sorry to leave the thing up, but yeah, here we go. Look, she's definitely gonna be naked. Yeah, okay. We're all good though. We got it covered. Hey, Sarah? Thanks for coming with me today. I smile and plant a kiss on her head. Of course, my pleasure. Emi snuggles closer, and I can feel her breathing begin to slacken as she begins to drift off to sleep. Just as she's about to fall asleep, she wakes up enough to mutter a single sentence. I love you, Sao. And she's out like a light, leaving me feeling like I'm on top of the world. I draw the slumbering Emi as close as possible, pull the covers over us to keep the chill off, and fall asleep as happy as I've ever been. I'm gonna leave it up just in case. Because unless she gets up before me, she'd still be naked, right? The morning light seems to reach further into Emi's room than it does into mine. This results in me waking up earlier than I would have if I had gone back to my room last night, as had previously been our routine. I did not realize it until this morning, but this is the first time we've actually spent the night together. I think it's the only route where you do that, right? Maybe you do it in the Rin route. I think you do it... Oh no. You do it in most of them, actually. I think Shizen is the only one you don't do it in. I did not realize it until this morning, but this is the first time we've actually spent the night together. A small movement from my partner still slumbering form causes me to look to the side. Okay, she hasn't woken up, so surely she'd be naked, right? Hair splayed across her face, Emi continues to sleep peacefully, curled up next to me. It's slightly weird seeing her without her trademark twin tails, but it's also a look I could get used to. The small size of the beds here necessitates her curling up, but I'm pretty sure she would have done so anyway. The covers are nearly over her head, and a smile as an earnest strand of her hair causes her nose to twitch slightly. Twitch? Yo, that's what I'm on! Twitch reference! Unable to help myself, I draw a little closer, a move which she seems to think is a good idea. A steady breath raises a trail of goosebumps on my chest, but I don't mind. I'm no longer tired, but I do not feel a need to move from my current position. Emi's warm body in repose against mine is far too comfortable to move. I gaze up at the ceiling and consider how it is that we've got to this point. We've been close for a while, but not this close. It seems like only yesterday that she ran into me in the hallway, and after apologizing, decided to take an interest in my well-being. But that grew into something else, which I at least was not expecting. One thing is for certain, having found Emi, I will try as hard as I can not to lose her. The morning musing is interrupted by further movement from Emi. Her eyes flutter open, and she seems briefly confused by my presence in her bed, as well as her current state of dress, which is non-existent. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Is that... Can I... I don't know, man. I don't know if I can show this at all. Is that... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. I mean, there's... Okay, you can see a bit of breast and a bit of nip, it seems. I don't... The ass is probably safe. It's an ass, right? Or does it not count because it's a woman and has implied sexuality to it? Time to err on the side of good. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave this here and just read what's here while the CG's up. Because otherwise I'd be covering most of the screen anyway, so just... Then she smiles happily and sits up, her face looking down at me. Good morning, Asao. Hi, sleep well? Yeah, I did. Exhausting day yesterday, you know? Think back over yesterday's trip to the graveyard. Yeah. Glad to hear you slept well. How'd you sleep? Well enough, although you keep hogging the covers. Sends me a shove and a stuck-out tongue. I chuckle, and Emi giggles a little, and we fall quiet for a while. I soak up the feeling of how right it all seems, waking up with Emi by me, cramming into a bed made for one person. It's something I could get used to. Hey, Asao? Thanks for sticking around. No problem, saved me a walk back anyway, right? She draws another giggle, but then Emi's expression turns serious again. No, really. I keep trying to push you away because I thought that was the right thing to do, and you stuck around through it all. I hadn't made any of this easy on you, but you stuck it out anyway. So really, I mean it. Thank you. She punctuates this by giving me a kiss, pulling back and looking up at me with an expression of affection. I reach up and ruffle her hair, smiling all the while. I'm stupidly lucky, I think, to have come through everything after my heart attack, and to somehow have found this girl is nothing short of a miracle. You're very welcome, Emi. I couldn't bear the thought of giving you up. Damn, she got really nice thighs. I'm sorry, I just noticed a little thigh squish against her chest there. Not bad. I'll even continue to stick around if you want. I'd like that. That settles it then. I don't know how long my heart will keep working, and I don't even really know what I'll do after this year is over, apart from going to university. As long as everything around, I think I'll be okay. I've managed to help her, and she's managed to help me. If we keep doing this, we'll be okay, I think. So, Sal, What do you want to do today? Let's have sex again. That was dicey. That's the first time... I don't know. I mean, I guess it's... I don't know. That's the first time they've given me a sexual CG despite the no adult content thing. Which, I mean, makes sense since they give me the naked sprites despite that as well anyway. It pretty much just gets rid of the sex scene. It doesn't actually get rid of all adult content. But anyway, we got the Emmy wrap done. And I'm gonna... I mean, that was pretty obviously the good ending. pretty obviously the good ending, that one. So let's look up how to get the other endings. Is it like I predicted that it's just going after her in the house gets you the bad ending? Probably, right? Oh, tied with Lily's route for most H scenes. Yeah, because Lily also had 3. Interesting. That's the only trivia listed on that page. Okay. Interesting. Okay, interesting. So that's not actually a fail state to chase after her in the house. Because then that instead gives you a second option, and then with that second option you can either fix it or you can end up with the bad ending. So let's do that now. And let's go after her. Which is definitely a terrible choice and something I wouldn't do in real life, so it makes sense that it fucks things up. Why would you ever go after... It's like such an obviously bad idea. Oh well, anyway. The only way to... So let's go get the bad ending now. At least I got the good ending going with my gut on that one. The only way to find out is to go to the source, and the source is currently pretending that she has to use the toilet. I excused myself politely from the table and head that way, only to catch sight of Emmy not in the bathroom but in the kitchen, just next to the living room. Emmy's left the door open, and as I approach, I can see that she's holding onto the table in an attempt to compose herself, an effort that fails as soon as I open my mouth. Doesn't look like nature's call was that urgent. Oh, Jesus! Why would you say that as well? Why would you make a wisecrack? What's wrong with you? Emmy jumps and glares at me. What are you doing here? I didn't come here to be with other people. I just wanted to help you. You looked pretty rattled. I said it was nothing, didn't I? Besides, I thought we'd established that you can't help me. No, we've established that you're stubborn. Look who's talking, the guy who followed me. This is different. I want to help you with whatever this is. Funny, because I just wanted you to leave me alone. But why? Why can't you just trust me? I've been over this already, Sal. I've got to deal with this stuff on my own. I won't accept that. You need my help, you just won't take it. My wording seems to have been a little off. Yeah, that was terrible. I need your help? Well, it's a good thing we met, isn't it? Because otherwise I guess I'd just be a broken human being, wouldn't I? No, it's a damn good thing that Hisao came along to save the day, isn't it? Because God knows I can't save myself, can I? I'm just a poor, emotionally damaged girl with no legs, right? I mean, you know I don't think that. Really? Because if you thought differently, then I don't think you'd be here, saying I need your help. I've gone pretty far in life as a normal human being without you. So what? Nothing we shared was important? I'm just the guy who hangs out with you? You're my boyfriend, Hisao, not my savior. Well, no, that much is obvious. You won't even consider that I could be a help to you, will you? You just bottle it all up and hope that a run will solve your problems. Or you come visit me and we'll fool around until you feel better. It's not being a healthy human being, Emmy. That's not what a relationship means. Well, it's what it means to me right now, Hisao. I wish... She seems to reconsider her words just then, a flicker of pain, of doubt on her face. For a moment, I think she's about to cry. But the moment passes, and now she's composed herself again. Whatever that wish was, will have to go unspoken. Look, I can't do this right now. What, have a serious conversation? Be open, be honest? Give a damn about anyone besides yourself and your problems? Jesus, Hisao, what the fuck is wrong with you? Oh, this is a terrible thing to say. What do you know about my problems? Nothing. You don't know what I've been through, so don't pretend that you do. I know you have nightmares, and I know your father's gone. What happened to him? Oh my god, Hisao, you're... Oh my god. No fucking... Oh my god. Hisao's the worst. No, in this route, no cap. Emisa jerks backwards as if I'd just slapped her. That brittle quality has gotten back into her voice. Jesus, that's such a bad thing to say. That's enough. This is stupid. This whole conversation has just been variations of Emmy stonewalling me. What, you won't even answer that question? Fine, keep your secrets. They can lay in the grave as far as I'm concerned. Oh my... What is wrong with this man? What is wrong with this man? Oh, this is terrible. Emmy's eyes will widen in shock. When she speaks again, it's in a voice that is low. Dangerous. Get out of my house, that's how. Sudden change in her tone snaps me out of my self-righteous anger. It makes me realize what a dawning horror... with a dawning horror what I've just done. Emmy, I didn't mean... I said go, Hisao. Tell my mother that she cooked a wonderful meal, but you've forgotten a prior engagement, and get out of my house. She's trembling now, shaking with anger, or sadness, or determination. Her voice is still low, controlled, almost a growl. I reach out to put an arm on her shoulder, to apologize for going too far, but she jerks away from my touch. Get out. What can I do? I walk out of the kitchen and go to the living room, make my apology to Miss Ibarazaki, and let myself out. Jesus fucking Christ, Hisao. My god, what's wrong with this man? So much. Oh my god. No fucking tact at all. Jesus. The morning alarm sounds and I roll over, switching it off. My eyes open wearily to stare at the ceiling. What am I gonna do? Do I get out of bed, go down the track and pretend that nothing happened? Will Lemmy even show up? After last evening events, I doubt it. Even supposing that she did, what would I do then? Get over this fight just to dance the same routine the next time something's bothering her? I know that I spoke hastily last evening, especially trying to use her father's leverage. Yeah, what the fuck, dude? Was anything I said really off the mark? Yeah, kind of. Anyway, it was still wrong. A fair bit, I'd say. She won't let me in, ever, and she'll be forced to suffer. This is like if you, as the reader, were as dumb as Hisao has been in this route. And like, yeah, I'm gonna follow her, and fucking, god damn it. No tact at all. Just like, absolutely the worst. Nothing I do, nothing I say is gonna change that. She won't change, and she's already decided to keep me at arm's length. Can I really bring myself to go down there and see her, knowing that I'm never gonna get past where I am now? No, I decide I really can't. Not today. I roll over and go back to sleep. She probably won't be there anyway. I mean, I don't know, maybe. I mean, she wasn't there when we did the other option, but we also did the other option, so... A similar mental conversation repeats itself when it comes Time to go to lunch, and I ate in the cafeteria line. Okay, but you didn't do that. You at least went to Emmy that time. I don't want to see her. The very thought makes me feel ill. That night, I go for a run. I'm solo for the first time since Emmy got sick after the track meet. Skipping seeing the nurse, just in case he asked about Emmy. I don't want to talk about her either. The next day, I do the same thing. Alarm off, stay in bed, eat alone, run alone. To fill the time that I would usually be spending with Emmy, I start reading more. It works surprisingly well until I find myself ducking into the restroom because I see her walking down the hall in between classes. If she noticed me, she didn't show it, even though I don't suppose she ever shows anything. Certainly not to the girls from her class I see talking cheerfully to her, or to her fellow track members, especially not to me. Alarm off, stay in bed. Mito and I have a lengthy talk about the possibility that string theory is plausible. I don't buy it myself. You don't buy string theory? More than 4 dimensions I can buy, but a bunch of vibrating strings at the subatomic level, that's asking a bit much. Looks like I'm not the only one to think that way too. Apparently it's not really as strong a theory as it once was. Mido says that just because nobody has found the right way of looking at the data yet. Yeah, I mean, string theory is not confirmed like at all. It's like, we'll probably be able to prove or disprove it one day. Just need to get smaller. We need to be able to see even smaller. The rooftop is deserted today. I briefly wonder where Emmy and Rin are, but shrug off the question. The important thing is that they aren't here, so I won't have to talk to them. Since I have nobody to talk to, I bring a book with me to read. The weather's nicer, if getting a little hot. Hopefully it will be cooler in the evening. A cool breeze seems to back up my theory. Run alone. It is in fact cooler at the track. No sign of Emmy, which is exactly the sort of thing I'm going for. Wouldn't it just be cooler because it's night now? I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I died for a sec. My throat was giving me grief. I had a bit of a coughing fit. And then I went to the toilet and, I don't know, my stomach hurts a little. So, I don't know what that second part's about, but... Not hurts, but, feels like queasy-ish weird. It's the COVID. It's not COVID. But yeah, we're almost done with this, so I mean, we might as well hopefully get this ending, get the extra dialogue, and be done with it. Which I'm kind of surprised by. I didn't think we'd get Emmy done this, well, I thought there was a possibility of it, but I didn't think it would actually happen. I thought maybe, but probably not. But it actually did. Which means I'll do something on Friday. Means I'll do something different on Friday. I haven't picked what I'm going to do on Wednesday yet, so I guess I'll just do whatever I do on Wednesday on Friday. But Tuesday and Thursday will be Fire Emblem. Wednesday and Friday, undecided. Because Friday would have just been this again, and Wednesday was going to be something undecided. So, we'll see what that ends up being, I guess. Oh, that also means we're going to vote for what visual novel I do next. Ooh. Finally going to be done with Katawa Shoujo after, like, a year. No, 2 years if we count when my YouTube started, because my YouTube upload was so slow. 2 years ago. What day exactly? June 26, 2019. God damn. So yeah, that'd be that's more than 2 years since I started playing this game. It took to finally get them all done. Although I think it took like a year for me to even start streaming it, so let's see, June 2019. Where is it? My first stream was 15th of April last year, so yeah, it took a while for me to... The YouTube was so slow. I did 7 parts in that time, so that's only like, that's like 3.5 hours I did in like 10 months or something on YouTube. That's so slow. Streaming was a much better choice. Man, my throat's really giving me grief. I hope I can actually get through this. I want to finish it today since we're so close. I stretch out and start on my usual run, trying hard to ignore the lack of running partner in front of me. Finding my thoughts drifting damnably to that girlish laugh, incorrigible grin, those wide and friendly eyes, her incredibly toned body. Damn. I increase the pace and clear my mind, chew up the distance between me and the turns, find the speed that makes me think only of my legs and how much they burn. I glance at my watch as I round the final turn, noting that my time's gotten faster. My heart seems a little squirrely tonight, so I give myself a few extra cooldown laps, just to be safe. No reason to bring this to the nurse's attention, I'll be fine, or rather Emmy-ish thought to have, I'll admit. You should probably go see him about that. I'm sure he'd also be good, like, happy to know that you're still running, just not with Emmy. I don't think the time really matters. I have to hope that eventually I'll stop thinking about her so much. I know he doesn't want him to bring Emmy up, but still. Should probably go see him. I finish another book before going to bed that night. I'll have to stop by the library tomorrow. I think that's the first time they've ever done that. What the hell? Light switch noise and change to dark red. Have they done that before? I feel like they haven't. I don't know why, but I keep the early alarm on. Oh, I don't know why I keep this early alarm on anymore, but it wakes me up the next morning just the same. I still turn it off and go back to sleep. Misha, see, her favorite color might be pink. This afternoon, as I get ready to head to the cafeteria for another solo lunch, I've got a new book about a couple of con men in ancient Persia that I'm pretty excited about reading. I'm suddenly cornered by Misha and... I guess just Misha. No, she isn't it? Off to eat alone again, Hik-chan? We've noticed, you know. We? Uh-huh. Shik-chan and I noticed that you've been spending more time alone. She wanted me to find out why, so I told her I'd ask you. I'm surprised she didn't ask me herself. She would have, but she wanted to get a head start on some paperwork. There's a lot of it, since we're coming up on the end of the term, you know. Why that's an interest in my well-being, anyway. Shik-chan said it is the duty of the student council to keep track of the emotional health of its students. To allow a what? Constitute? I probably know that word, but I've never seen it spelt out.
Constituent.
That's how constituent is spelt? Interesting, okay. Yeah, I know that word. To allow a constituent to spiral into depression unchecked would be an unforgivable failure in the council's duty. Well, that's easy then. I'm not depressed. But you're eating alone, and nobody's seen you and Emmy together at all. Something happened, didn't it, Hik-chan? Learning words with Eira! Probably for the last time, too. Mish's voice takes on a slightly sterner tone, though somehow she keeps the familiar, lit at the end of her sentence. I purse my lips, uncertain how to respond. Yeah, so we get this extra choice where we can save the run and still get the good ending, I think. That's what that seems to be what the wiki suggests. Maybe it's slightly different, I don't know. Maybe there's a neutral ending here and a bad ending. I don't know, but one's definitely gives you the bad ending. So, what was it again? No. Well, actually, it won't be the last one forever. Probably. It'll probably happen again in the other visual novels. I just mean it's probably the last one with Katawa Shoujo. Maybe it will be the last one forever. I don't know. Maybe actual visual novels will be better written than this. Although, to be fair, I probably should know the word constituent. I do know that word, I just didn't know it was spelt that way, to be fair, so... That's not actually a writing problem. Fog! It'll come up again with words like that, but it won't come up... I doubt there'll be words that I actually straight up have never heard before again. That's pretty unlikely, because it's only if you're a bad writer that you even use words like that, so... But, right. How do I should have kept this tab open so I could check. Which one is it again that gets me the bad ending? Okay. I figured that would be it, but yeah, I downplay the issue to get the bad ending. I'm not sure I like the idea of airing private matters to the student council. Nothing major. Hik-chan, lying is a terrible thing to do. She's not buying it. Okay, give her something, but not too much. We had a disagreement and haven't resolved it yet. Oh, why not? Because, look, I don't need to talk about this, okay? It's not a big deal, okay? I'm fine. And Emmy, is she... and Emmy? Is she fine too, Hik-chan? Misha's voice has taken on a decidedly serious angle. This is ridiculous. I don't know, okay? I haven't asked. Things are complicated right now. What kind of man are you? Things are a little tough and you're gonna hide from them? Misha's sudden retort catches me completely off guard. She's right, though. His hair's being a little bitch right now. Hik-chan will call that a cowardly act, and she'd be right, too. You two are close, happy together, and you're just gonna roll over and die without a fight? You should be willing to fight for your girlfriend, Asao. Seems that Misha is channeling Shizuna at the moment. It wouldn't surprise me to find out that Shizuna gave her a script to follow based on my answers. Misha points an Imperious? What? Okay. It wasn't the last one for Katawa Shoujo. Imperious. I don't think I've ever heard that word before. Misha points an imperious arm at the classroom door. Now you get out of the classroom and patch things up. We've still got afternoon classes. That doesn't seem to dissuade Misha. And after class, you'd better do it, Chick-chan. It's important that you don't leave things like this. Why? Misha regards me as one would regard an animal's droppings. Don't you care about her, Hisao? That's important, isn't it? Huh, she's right. I do care about her. Don't I? Okay, we'll see her after class. Great, I'll let Chick-chan know you're okay then. The lilt returns. I guess that means that Misha isn't angry at me anymore. She waves and disappears down the hallway, and I eat my lunch. While afternoon classes draw to a close, I prepare myself for the task ahead. I have to see Emmy. Misha was at least correct about that. Leaving the question of Emmy and me an open issue won't work. At the very least, I need to apologize for what I said. I consider going into her room to find her, but she's probably still at the track. Steps out of the main building and down the path to the track, making me feel like a doomed man. I have a twisting, horrible feeling in my gut that this is all going to go horribly wrong, that I'm not going to accomplish anything. Except for maybe driving the final nail in the coffin of whether it was Emmy, of whatever it was Emmy and I had. Can you tell my voice is fucked right now? I need to... Hang on, I need to try to fix it. You know, a strange random thought, but it's kind of weird that Rin's route never had a foot job, huh? I feel like that's a no-brainer for the Rin route, but apparently not. Anyway, moving on from that. There she is, just as expected, running laps around the track after everyone else has gone to shower and dinner. I don't wave or even make my presence known. I just sit down on the bleachers and watch her run her laps. Takes her a few trips around the track before she notices me, after which she skids to a stop, eyes wide in surprise. Surprise is quickly masked by anger, which in turn fades behind a mask that I already know is impenetrable. What are you doing here? Not quite the response I'd hoped for, but at this point, I don't have much of a choice. I wanted to apologize for what I said the other day. The other day? She laughs, a curt exclamation of disbelief. It's been almost a week or so. Yeah, well, better late than never, right? No. Emmy crosses her arm and stares at me coolly, as if seizing me up. Finally, she nods. I suppose you're right. Water under the bridge, then. I forgive you. Is that all? Her most impatient questioning catches me so off guard that she's halfway down the track before I think to shout after her. No, wait! Emmy stops, turns, and walks back to me, breathing a little heavily and looking annoyed at my interruption. What? Okay, I need to make this right, somehow. I have to know where I stand, maybe patch things up. Can you at least sit down? I think we're okay talking here. Fine, sure. Look, about us. I paused, trying to think of a good way to phrase what I'm about to say. Before I can launch into an impassioned plea for giving me another chance, Emmy's already spoken. There's no more us, Hasao. Why not? We're just not right for each other. She delivers this outrageous statement without even looking in my eyes. I don't believe you. We're great with one another. This is the guy apologizing for getting thrown out of my house last week. It was a fight. I said something really incredibly stupid and apologized for it. And how many times have we already discussed this problem that started the fight? How many times have I told you that there was a set boundary that I wouldn't cross? And how many times did you keep trying to cross it? Because the boundary was stupid. Oh my god, it sounds such an idiot. I mean, I guess I'm going for the bad ending, so he's meant to be a dumbass, but... I mean, I feel like this is what the Hasao that has been before the choices was doing anyway, and this is just if you actually try to have Hasao act like Hasao instead of doing the smart thing and picking what you do instead, which is literally none of this. Emmy rolls her eyes, folds her arms across her chest, and cocks her head to the side. Do you see this, Hasao? This is why we're not right for one another. Her voice softens a little, and she reaches out to stroke my cheek. You're a good guy, but we're not gonna work. With a horrible lurching feeling, I realize that she's been practicing this, maybe every day since I left her house. Even the cheek stroke seems rehearsed, like something out of a movie. She never intended to give me another chance. Hell, she probably would have been fine with never seeing me again. So that's it then? Nothing else to say, but gee, it was fun while it lasted, but so long. This actually seems to amuse Emmy far more than I wanted it to. She gives a rather morbid-sounding chuckle. That's how I've lived my life, Hasao. You should know that by now. And it was fun. A sad smile. She shivers slightly, and the smile vanishes. But it's over now. It's for the best. I want to yell, to scream at her, make her see reason. That this is stupid, the whole act. That she's just afraid of me, afraid of what being close to someone means. I want to tell her that I love her, and that I can't just give up on her at the drop of a hat. Except there's no point. She's made up her mind. We're done. Fine. Emmy nods satisfied. Oh, I want to hit something. Good. She runs with a false cheeriness. You are not the bug, Jeff. See you around, Hasao. No, you won't. You won't even try. She shrugs as if to say have it your way, and turns her back on me once more, quickly accelerating around the curve on the track. I feel numb. This is it. The end of the road for us, whatever that was. Closure, at least. Emmy rounds the track again without sparing me a second glance. She's running much faster now, and I can't help but think of that first run together. I ran to catch you, to try to prove I wasn't as weak as I knew I was, but it ended badly for me, didn't it? And now you're off running too fast for me again, and I have... and I have the choice to run after you again. But I won't. Not this time. You'd never let me catch you. I don't even notice walking away from the track, or walking into my room, or pulling a book out of my bag to read. Just before bed, I reset my alarm. Emmy and I have had our final encounter. We don't speak again after that. That's a pretty bad ending. I'd say that's one of the baddest bad ends. Actually, probably not. It's like as bad as the Rin bad ending, I guess. Now that I think about it, the Shizune one is definitely worse. The Shizune ending is probably the worst. Hanako bad ending's pretty bad. Lily doesn't have a bad ending, so... So I guess it's, I don't know, tied third. That's actually not that bad. Alright, and so with that, we have all of the game's endings, I think. I don't think it's any different if we actually get advice from Misha. I think it's like a difference to the end of Act 3, but then I think Act 4 is the same, maybe with a few small dialogue changes. I think the overall ending is the same, though, so... we'll do that now. And we'll also see all the extra other options that for the earlier choices, which is just a bit of different in dialogue. So let's go to this one. Give in and let Misha know. Well, I suppose someone else knowing about my problems can't hurt. Heck, maybe Misha can even offer some advice. We had a fight at her house. I keep trying to get close to her, and she won't let me get close, and I should change the title to just, like... Emmy Rao... I don't know. Extra dialogue? I don't know. Just, sure, whatever. Because I'm technically not in Act 4 anymore. It's still Act 3. I keep trying to get close to her and she won't let me get close, and I said something stupid and she threw me out. Have you talked to her since then? Misha looks genuinely concerned. I'm surprised, as I'd almost expected her to drop the subject after finding out what the trouble was. Even more surprising is how quickly I find myself spilling my guts to her. No, I haven't. I just can't bring myself to face her after that. I made a complete fool of myself, and she probably hates me now anyway. Especially since I haven't seen her since then. You're pretty slow, Hik-chan. That doesn't sound like advice. Huh? Misha places her hand on her hips and lurches into a speech that would sound more plausible coming from Shizune. The solution to your problem is simple. You have to go and apologize to her. Leaving things like this would just make things worse. You can't know that she hates you now unless she tells you. Otherwise, there's no evidence that what you fear is true. And if you really care about her, shouldn't you be worried about how she's taking all this? With a sudden start, I realized that she's right. I keep waking up to an early alarm because part of me wants to meet Emmy at the track for her runs. I've kept running because I know that Emmy would worry about me if I didn't stay healthy. When I went to the roof yesterday, I was half hoping that she would be up there and felt disappointed that she wasn't. I'm an idiot. Kinda, Hik-chan. So, go and apologize to her as soon as you can, okay? I open my mouth to say that I'll do it right away, but the lunch bell rings and I realize that I still have afternoon classes to attend. First thing after class is over, I'll go see her, I promise. And thanks for the advice, I guess. Misha beams at me as if I were a child that had just learned his ABCs. Good, I'll let Hik-chan know that you're okay then. Yeah, you do that. With a wave and completely disregarding the fact that people are starting to trickle back into the classroom as opposed to out of it, Misha departs the classroom. I suppose she and Shizune have student council business again. While the afternoon wears on, I find myself impatient for the lesson to end. I need to see Emmy now. I have to try to set things right. Even if Emmy hates me now, I have to at least apologize. I owe her that much. Should I meet her in her room? No, I decided it would delay things too much. If I know Emmy, then I can find her at the track. Still have no idea what I'm going to say when I get there, but I take comfort in knowing that Emmy probably wouldn't have a plan for something like this either. Play it by ear, stop being nervous, and just get to the track. Figure the rest out when I get there. The track looms ahead and another jolt of nerves hits me in the gut. I resist the urge to turn and walk away, and instead note with satisfaction that I was right and Emmy is still running. I don't make myself immediately known. I find a seat in the bleachers and watch her run instead, thinking back to earlier meetings. After a few trips around the track, Emmy notices me and skids to a halt, an expression of surprise that slides easily into one of anger. What are you doing here? Hey, this time she doesn't cover it up with a smile. And not quite the response I'd hoped for, but at this point, I don't have much of a choice. I wanted to apologize for what I said the other day. Is this... No, it's not the same. A code exam of the disbelief, it's almost been a week or so. Yeah, well, better late than never, right? This is all the same so far, though. Water on the bridge, I forgive you. Is that all? She doesn't seem to have heard me, or she doesn't want to hear me, and so I give chase, disregarding completely the fact that I am not dressed for it. My feet hurt, and my short collar feels like a noose around my neck, but I still chase after her, because if I don't, I'll lose my chance. Emmy has started to really accelerate yet, which is probably the only reason why I'm able to catch up to her. To reach out and tap her on the shoulder, just before my legs give up running in dress shoes and stumble to a stop. Surprisingly, fortunately, all this running seems to have paid off. I'm short of breath, yes, but at least my heart isn't actively trying to force its way out of my ribcage. My touch on her shoulder has stopped Emmy, and while there is a flash of concern when she sees me catching my breath, it seems that she has a good idea of what I'm capable of too. The concern is short-lived. What? She seems so irritated by my being still there that I almost lose my nerve. But I've lost my nerve enough. I need to explain myself. Why I can't just let the matter rest. Emmy folds her arm and bounces one blade on the ground in an approximation of tapping her foot impatiently Angry as she is, and as nervous as I am, she still looks beautiful. Okay, Hisao, explain. The thing is, I know that you're really sensitive about the accident and about your dad. I can see Emi's face twitch at the mention of the two things that have been steadily driving us apart. Or at least made me feel like we've been driven apart. But that's why I want to know about them, I think. Because I see how much they hurt you, and I want to be there to comfort you. It makes me miserable seeing you sleepless and depressed, and don't pretend you aren't, because I know, okay? I just remember that night when you fell asleep with me and had that nightmare, and that you were happy to have me there when you woke up. I want to be able to be there for you like that whenever you need me to be. A stern face cracks slightly. Emi interrupts before I can continue further. Just stop right there. We can't see each other anymore, okay? She rushes now, looking everywhere but at me. I'm surprised she doesn't bolt, but no, I can't. What? Oh, she knows I can't catch her. We're not right for one another. That's not true, and you know it. No, it's true. You're too... I know that I've been pushy about knowing your past. If you can't tell me yet, then at least let me be there, even if I don't know the reason. It's okay, I promise. I won't ask why you need comfort. I'll just give it freely. Emi's shaking her head. The tears seem to be threatening the corners of her eyes. Stop saying that. Why? Because you're afraid you'll take me up on it? I'm not afraid. I can't keep the chiding tone from my voice as I respond. Yes, you are. You told me so yourself, remember? That's okay. Really, it is. However, it seems to me that someone who's managed to come out of that wreck and still be as energetic and as cheerful as you would be, determined enough to face that fear. Determination? What do you know about determination? Well, I played Undertale once. I know that there's a girl so determined to take care of a total stranger that she'd steal his food at a festival. I know that there's a girl so determined to help me with my own problems that she'd draw up a complete dietary and exercise plan, and that she'd not only draw up the plans, but she'd follow them with me even when she couldn't run. Determined enough to keep me at arm's length, that she'd put herself through emotional pain if she thought it was the right thing to do. Although there's one thing that this determined girl didn't quite plan for, which was that I might feel the same kind of determination to keep her from being hurt. I fell in love with you, and I refuse to let that be thrown away because you're afraid of losing me. With little control, Emi still has, at this point, cracks, and I find myself suddenly enveloped in her embrace as she cries. Why are you doing this? Why can't you just leave me alone? Determination. I hold her close. Oh, hey, nice. And unique CG. I hold her close and plant a kiss on the top of her head. I'm sorry, Emi. You helped me when I first arrived, so now I have to help you. It's only fair. You're utterly hopeless, did you know that? She hiccups and trembles a little. Funny, I could say the same about you. Can you do something for me, Sal? Anything. Can you go? Now? Feels like she just shoved a knife through my chest. Go? I need to think, okay? I can't just tell you everything yet. I'm still scared, and when you're around, I can't think clearly. But do me another favor. What's that? Show up for our morning run tomorrow. I smell feeling better than I have all week. Of course, I wouldn't miss it for the world. Emi steps back slowly, almost reluctantly. She sniffles a little and then grins at me, a real smile that lights up the track, overpowering the fading evening's light. See you tomorrow, Sal. Okay. She darts forward suddenly, planting a soft clip on my lips, and then steps back shyly. Spinning on her back foot, she takes off running again, and I know that our conversation's at an end. My lips tingle with the warmth of that brief kiss and the memories of other longer kisses. I walk back to my room with a spring in my step. Tomorrow when my alarm goes off, I'll get up. Okay, so now the question is if Act 4 is the same or not. Yeah, the bus. I want to show you something, and I don't want to be late. Okay. Try not to get in too wide. I'm happy bomb modes that Emi wants to hang out after the run at all, but a promise of showing me something has me even more intrigued. Is this what she had to think about? I wonder just what she's planning to do. Okay, so it seems like there's just a bit of different dialogue just to account for the slight different for the differences in Act 3. Is anything else the same? I mean, anything else different? Seems like the rest is just... I'm just gonna do that real quick. Okay, you get the same ending. Interesting. Alright. So we got that, Let's see, where does Emmy route begin? I guess this? Man, this is so far back, I don't even remember what this was about. Come to think of it, she looks like she'd rather be alone right now. I decided to keep my offer to myself. Is that it? Yes, it is. Okay, barely anything. This one. Discard my progress. I don't know if that's... Oh, wait. Well, I'll see you tomorrow then, okay? Yeah. Weird that this is different. Thanks for coming. Oh, and for carrying the picnic basket. I'll bring it for lunch tomorrow. We can have our picnic on the roof. Sounds good to me. See you then. Kenji God! I should have offered to run with her. Then I could have talked her out of the idea, or at least known that she was okay. What if she got struck by lightning or something? Oh, right, when she got the cold from running. Kenji God! Right, yes. Okay, interesting that this... It's just a little bit of extra dialogue that doesn't seem to change anything, but it's interesting how much long later it has new dialogue. I'd never forgive myself. Okay, that's probably a little stupid. Emi's a resourceful girl, I doubt even she'd stay out in a thunderstorm. I trust her judgment on that matter, at least. Even so, I can't help wanting to know where she is. Well, nothing for it. I'd better stretch and run and hope that Emmy shows up with a grin and an excuse. Yuko! I think that's all of the dialogue for that then. Let's go to this one. Why do I get the feeling she's convincing us? Press Emmy. I'm surprised that this isn't a deciding choice for an ending. Are you absolutely sure? You don't want to go ahead and adjust it before heading up the stairs? You can get hurt if you don't, right? I said it was fine, Asao. Seriously, don't worry about it. I've got some experience in these matters after all. Yeah, I suppose so. Emmy grins reassuringly. Honestly, Asao, I appreciate the concern, but I really am okay. No, really, I need to get going. Your attempts to keep me around are doomed to fail. Of course. Just prolonging the goodbye, I suppose. Another grin lights up Emmy's face. Good night, Asao. Good night. Anything else different? Here we go. Why don't you tell me what's wrong? It's like she gets offended by me trying to help. What am I supposed to make of that? That's it? It's just a little bit of a change at the end there. Okay, it's probably nothing then after this. But look at this weirdo. Fucking weirdo. Now I have other things to worry about. Actually, I've got something I need to do. Yeah? Oh well. I wanted to get some feedback on the science club from you, but we can do that later, I guess. Enjoy your break. What? Enjoy your break, yeah? Thanks, I will. I really love to chat with Muto, but I've got other things on my mind. Specifically, what to do about Emmy. Can you really just confront her? That's it? Is there any difference when I meet up with her? No, it's basically all the same, okay. No, there's my advice about what? I don't think there's anything I can actually do about this. Not really. I don't think there's anything you can say that'll help. You never know, Hisao. No, I think I've got a pretty good idea. I'm just being stubborn about some things and it's bothering me. But I'll get over it. Don't worry about us. The nurse doesn't seem to believe me, but shrugs. Have it your way, kiddo. I open my mouth to respond, but a knocking sound at the door interrupts me. Alright, that's all the same then. And, yeah, that's it. Because we're basically at that scene anyway. So that's... If I go to... It actually won't be 100%, will it? Well, library might be? Yeah, it says 100%. Even though I haven't actually watched the Emmy scenes yet, the H scenes. So like if I went into a gallery, they won't. There's, I think it's Emmy. Yeah, there's some missing there. Wait, does that mean? Huh. That means there's not one for the anal, right? Yeah. Because it's this scene. And then just jumps right to the graveyard. Interesting. I need to be careful. There's things on screen. Alright. Well, with that, we are all done with Katawa Shoujo. Holy shit. I wasn't expecting this. I was going to prepare a nice little visual thingy for when I announced what the votes for the next visual novel were going to be, but I can't do that now because I didn't prepare that. Alright then, in that case, I'm just going to tell you, and I'll make a Twitter poll that'll, I don't know, let's have it last like 5 or 6 days. So if you want, since there is one other person in here, here. That's my Twitter there in the corner at that one Eira. Actually, it's also on that screen, but the stream is not starting soon. It's ending soon. So there's at that one Eira. It's pretty simple. Use that if you want to go to my Twitter, since I'll have the vote take place there. Even though there's barely anyone there, it's like, what, Toast and maybe Rainbow and Baronade will vote? I don't know. Maybe Mushark might. I don't know. But I wanted to make it a poll anyway, because why not? So, the options are Danganronpa, what is this game actually titled? The other will be The Great Ace Attorney, possibly Chronicles. I don't know. I don't know if I should say, because with Danganronpa it'll also be the collection that's on Switch. Same with Great Ace Attorney. But ideally it'll just be the first one, and then I mean people will probably vote for the second one anyway, but and then the third option is, what was the third option again? Right, it's fucking Clannad. I'll have this go for like 5 days. So there you go. Those are the options. Danganronpa, The Great Ace Attorney, and Clannad. Actually, I'll have it go for... No, 5 days is fine, actually, yeah. Because we're not going to do it on Friday. We'll do it probably next week, whatever wins the vote here. Danganronpa, Great Ace Attorney, Clannad. those are the free options for what VN I'll play next. Since I want to do a structure of always having one active VN. No Summer Pockets, real sad. Look, I haven't bought Summer Pockets yet, and that's pretty much the only reason. Because I know you want me to play it, so I will definitely add it as an option once I have it, but like... Yeah, look at... It's fucking... goddamn. It's $65. That's really expensive. Like, I know it's a key visual novel, and it all looks nice and pretty. It's probably worth that price, but god damn if it's pretty expensive. Man, look at all these cute girls. Oh, they got table tennis. Holy shit. And card games with sea creatures. Based. Alright. Summer Pocket's looking pretty based, but I'll get it. I'll get it during a sale. I'm waiting for a good sale to buy it. That's Plus I just haven't had much money to buy games this year. Table tennis and not Pokemon? Sounds about right. The funny thing is, even things that existed before Pokemon get called basically Pokemon if there's just a collecting things element. It's kind of funny. Like SMT, like everyone's like, oh, SMT, it's like Pokemon, but dark, because you're catching demons instead. And it's like, yes, and it also existed before Pokemon. Pokemon's like SMT, technically. But hey, SMT is also before Persona, and no one seems to respect that, so... SMT, man. No one gives it the respect it deserves. Okay, I'm gonna tweet this poll now. Alright. Poll is up. I guess I'll also post it in some other Discords. But there you go. You can go to my Twitter, @ThatOneEira, and vote there. I'll have it up for 5 days. There's plenty of time. And yeah, I'll end the stream now. This is kind of crazy. Look at this little, like, collage we got here. It's all done, man. We've done the entire game. It feels weird that it's done. Yeah, I don't know, that's strange. Wacky. Well, thank you everybody for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow with Fire Emblem Free Houses. We gotta get back on that PTSD. You could say I want to ride PTSD's D. If you know what I mean. Dimitri, please rail me. Anyway. And, yeah, so Fire Emblem will be Tuesday and Thursday. Actually, maybe I'll throw it in for Friday or Wednesday. I don't know. I haven't decided what I'll do Wednesday. But if I do something that's not Fire Emblem, then I'll probably do that same thing on Friday, maybe? I don't know. I guess we'll wait and see. Whatever. I don't know what I'm doing Wednesday. Friday is basically what I'm saying. But it'll be something. Alright, whatever. I'll see you tomorrow for Fire Emblem. That'll be a more full-length stream. This one was... Actually, this was longer than my usual Katawa Shoujo. It's basically 3 hours instead of just the 2, but... So yeah. Anyway. See you later. Hopefully stay on schedule this week.